Cain.
Raise some Cain.
Ow.
Talk about a bootleg Paul Stanley, bro.
Dude.
Let's raise some hell.
Dude, when you don't give a fuck, when you like wearing a shirt with your chest out when you should not be, and to just act like you're a fucking rock star.
Well, dude, I mean,
gotta love it, man.
I mean, dude, I was planning on doing the same thing those guys did. Wait till I'm 50 to start a new band, you know?
Dude,
because at that age,
beach, like I don't know if that is that.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like at that age, when you're like 50 years old or whatever it is,
you
don't care. You know, you just raise some Cain. Let's raise some hell. I gotta say though, it's crazy the way like the stars aligned. You know, because we did a Dave
inadvertently, like once again, like most of this, like the show, everything's done extemporaneously. So like just to have these alignments is as serendipitous as you can have.
Right, because
situation.
We did episode 12 and it just happened to align with the 12th year since Dave Brocky's passing. So we dedicated an episode to
which was a deep one, by the way, because you know, we had this because we were, you know, obviously huge Gwar fans, especially growing up.
And now we're on episode 16, and just a couple of days ago, it was the 16th year since the passing of Type O Negative lead singer Peter Steele.
My hero, Peter Steele.
I've been listening to Type O a lot lately, and it was even before like realizing that we were coming up on, I guess you call it anniversary. I don't like calling it anniversary. You know, I would have just said, you know, the anniversary of the death.
Anniversary?
Yeah, because it doesn't sound, I don't know. It just, anniversary always kind of has like
happy
a kind of.
Death Day to you.
Yeah, I was going to say, whoa, happy death day. I always feel like the word anniversary has like that celebratory connotation to it, even though it really just means like.
Yeah, but it does.
A certain amount of years.
It's usually indicative of something positive, but I mean, obviously. Right. Being open-ended, you can have negative connotations to it.
I was like, you know what? We just did an episode about Dave Brocky. I know Pete Steele passed sometime around this time. Turns out it just happened to be
around this time.
right before recording our 16th episode.
You know, it's funny too, because being like a numbers person like that, I was like, man, too bad we didn't have the show 2 years ago, because then we could have had the 14, 14, 14.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Right.
But 1616 is still pretty sweet.
I mean, we've talked about Pete Steele on this show numerous times. He comes up all the time. Whether it's talking about coming out on stage, like, sorry, it took me a while. I had to go backstage and take a shit.
He loved taking his shits.
He loved taking his shits. He loved giving out free toilet paper.
Yeah, and we were beneficiaries of that. Like,
dude, and I love it. He's like, what are you doing? We're giving you free stuff and you're just throwing it back. I kept that roll of toilet paper for the longest time. I had a little cabinet that I had like all the stuff that I got from concerts. Like I remember at a Gwar show, Balzac, you know, they came out when Gwar came back out without the masks and stuff, you know, they took like half their costumes off. Balzac was wearing, you know, Mike Dirks was wearing like a fedora type of hat, you know. And he was like putting it out in the audience, and I grabbed it, I put it on my head. I thought he was handing it to me. Afterwards, you're like, dude, Jerry Only was standing next to you. He was trying to give it to him. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Oh, wow.
Like I remember you saying that to me. I'm like, I didn't even realize Jerry Only was standing next to me. Meanwhile, I'm like talking to Jerry Only like after they went on about his bass, and you know, he's telling me how he made the bass, he made the drum set. How
officious of you! Like, for me,
dude, exactly, man. Because here I am, a huge Gwar fan. And it's like, you know, oh my God, I'm actually one of those people who got something from the band. Yeah. Right. To me, I was that dude, like, oh my God, I'm so special. I got something from the band. Meanwhile, to the band, I was that dude, you know?
Most unequivocally that dude, that guy.
But when it comes to Type O Negative, back in like 1994, this was after we, you know, graduated from junior high. And I know I always mention this portion of the story. We hadn't seen each other for like months. Right. You know, you, myself, and, you know, Herky Jerky over there. And that's how we'll refer to him for the sake of the story.
Herky Jerky.
Or maybe HJ. Yeah, exactly. So it was you, myself, Herky Jerky. We're at Herky Jerky's house. We hadn't seen each other in a while, hanging out in his basement where we always hung out. We would always, go over. Yeah, we would always go to the deli, get our like chicken cutlet sandwiches and our.
Which, by the way, that place had the best chicken cutlet sandwiches.
They had the best chicken cutlet sandwiches.
That's not just a
right.
Overemphasis. We're emphatically stating it had the best chicken cutlet sandwiches.
Yes, absolutely. And we would go into his basement and we would eat our chicken cutlet sandwiches and just listen to music. Like back when that was a thing, back when it was a thing to like just hang out and listen to an album and not just listen to it, like critique it, Yeah. It's not like it was just like a background thing. It was what we did. Listening to music, listening to a new album was a thing. So
that also too, not to interject, but I just want to also for people that watching that were beyond that time, that's what you did. Like you didn't just hang out, put earbuds in and listen to your own shit streaming. You literally, somebody bought a CD, you'd go to the house or tape, whatever, and you listen together. Like it was never like an individualized thing where you sit there to yourself and just keep it, you shared it. Like music was meant to be shared. Now it's streamed, but it's streamed privately.
Right, yeah. And then it's like when you got old enough to where like one of your buddies drives, has a car.
In the car.
You go to the music store together.
That's acoustics, just drive in, listening.
Exactly. Just drive around, listen to the whole album, critique it, listen to it, love it, hate it, whatever happens, And it was always like, oh my God, they got a new album out. So this was before I had even heard of Typo Negative. And you put this cassette in, and this is where we always listened to new music with. This is where we always shared new music with. And you, Storm, you were the one who always, for the most part, had the new music. You know what I mean? Like I remember bringing over like Megadeth and Ministry, and that was it. Like you brought us Pantera, Danzig, Slayer, freaking Typo Negative, and so this was like 94. So it was like roughly a year after Bloody Kisses came out. Obviously, I only found that out afterwards because I didn't know who Typo Negative was at the time. And I'm listening to this and I'm like, okay, this isn't bad. And then all of a sudden, Summer Breeze comes on. Yeah. I'm listening to the words and I'm like, wait, hold on a second. I know this song. I know this song. And I was so like blown away by the way they recorded it because it was slow, deep and hard,
Pun intended.
Yeah, exactly. For lack of a better descriptor for it, it was slow, deep, and hard. And I'm like, I know this song. I know, like, it's like, oh, you've heard it. It's like, well, I heard the original by, what was it, Seals and Crofts, I believe it was. Because my mother always listened to Oldie Station, and then
so you listened to a lot of old stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't like all of it,
No, but I mean, you were exposed to it, like it's
right. Yeah, exactly. So it's like whenever a band came out with like a cover song, like most of the time
you would know the original.
I knew the original.
Yeah, so, I always knew the new one.
Yeah, the original. And it's funny because like trying to explain to you what the original sounds like, it's like Summer Breeze makes me feel fine.
Which, by the way, once again, just to interject, it wasn't as simple as going to your phone and just going on YouTube and looking up the song. Like, you didn't have that shit. So, like, trying to describe it was the best thing you could do. It's either that or go, like, we can go to my mom's house and she get the record out and put it in.
I am Shazam!
It's real.
I am Shazam. So shortly after that, I bought the album. It's like I had a CD player, but I started buying cassettes again because I didn't have a lot of money and cassettes just cost less at the time. Which, oddly enough, at this time, CDs and cassettes cost roughly the same. It's like a cassette is like $15. CD might be like $12.
Expensive though when they first came out.
Yeah.
It took like a couple, maybe like almost a decade for them to be out enough to where they actually were reasonably priced.
Yeah, well,
but when you first came out, they were like 25, 30. Yeah.
Remember
that shit? Like brand new ones would be like literally well into the 20s.
Yes, and well, CD players were expensive when they first came out too, and it's like now it's like a CD player is expensive because they don't exist anymore, and you got to buy like a retro one or whatever.
Antiquated.
So yeah, same thing with like cassette players. It's like cassettes are making a comeback, but cassette players aren't really. So it's like I see these like ads on like Facebook for Kickstarter
like
projects.
Redefining the wheel, like just like a cassette player.
Exactly. My my brother, he sent me some link for this cassette player that would cost like $100-something, and I'm like, okay. and I sent him a link to Amazon for, a Walkman for like $30. It's like I'm not going to spend if I really want a Walkman, if I want to be that guy.
Dude, Walkman, like they were like that was like back in the day, everyone had a Walkman. That was just the way it
Yeah.
was. You wanted to listen to music on the go, you popped in Walkman. Earphones, like headphones, sound, like portable sound back in the day was really extremely rudimentary. We've come a long way with sound. Like whenever you got new headphones, getting a good pair of headphones was the toughest thing to do because all headphones sucked.
Yeah.
And if you had mini speaker, remember mini speakers? They were garbage.
Yes.
Any mini player that had a mini speaker, if it wasn't like a full on like radio or like a boom box, which is a term we used to use back in the day, big old boom boxes. Yeah, sound sucked. Like there would be that one kid like, oh, this little mini speaker, and it sounded like you were listening to it through a fucking tin can. It was like the worst sounding music ever.
Yeah, and dude, I remember having a small radio. It wasn't a boom box, but it was a small radio. It had the speakers on the end, and you put the tape in the middle and had the handle. I remember the three of us walking around, and I'm playing music on that thing, and it was great. But at the time, you didn't know how bad the sound was in your headphones because you had sound in your ears wherever you went, and that was cool, And then Discmans came out. Couldn't fit it in your pocket, obviously. You had to hold that thing like a binder, like you had to hold it in your hand,
Yeah,
unless
you cup it and like you just walk with it.
Exactly. Unless you were among the people who wore Jenko jeans where like you could fit
a whole
anything
stereo in your pocket.
Exactly. You were able to fit like a PS1 and an Xbox in there.
You see that Dolphin dude that's out there now?
Dolphin dude? No.
Yeah, I think what is he? Air Dolphin something? He's some retro dude. He wears all those Jenko pants and he'll like rollerblade. I don't know if he skateboards, but he rollerblades and he's got those Heelys and he'll roll around and he'll have like full systems in his back pocket.
Well, good for him. I mean, personally, and you know this, like neither of us, we never did the Jenkos.
I had Jenko shorts.
Yeah, but were they like?
They weren't that extreme, but they were baggy as fuck.
Right. Did you actually wear them though? I don't remember those.
I did wear it, and the reason I had one pair, and I remember it well because, as you know, I love dragons, and it had a dragon on the back.
Oh, okay.
So I loved that dragon. But like in all fairness, the pair I had was a normal pair, if you want to, call it that. It wasn't like Jenko pants were like you can literally fit 3 people in one leg.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm not even joking. Like, it's not even hyperbolic. Like it was just like you could hold them up. It was like a sheet, and it was just this massive just waste of denim, and you just would have these pockets that you can literally fit. You were like Bag and Sag and Larry from all that. You would pull out everything, Bag and Sag and Larry. You'd be like, "What do you need?" And pull something out. It'd be like a jet plane.
Yeah, dude. I never got into those. I was never interested in that. I was never interested in those, and I have less interest because like they came back out and they're fucking expensive too. Like I don't even know what they cost back then.
It's that markup for retro, probably. I would imagine.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I'm in this like '90s Facebook group, and it's like, what's an unpopular opinion? And I'm like, okay, since it's a '90s group, I think Jenko pants were one of the most ridiculous fashion trends.
Well, I agree, but then also that kind of led the way to raver pants. Do you remember raver like parachute pants?
Well, those were kind of like parachute pants. I mean, like I feel like you could jump off a like 10-story building and like the shit will flap out.
Yeah, but you didn't have that light material. It was that material we had. You had the straps that came out the pockets, and those straps had like the
yes, I know what you're talking about.
Glow strips on them, like where they would reflect the
that's
lights.
That was
UFO
another...
pants was one of the brands. I had a couple pairs. When I was looking through the storage the other day, I actually found a few of the pairs I had.
Yeah, see, like I mean, first of all, I never fit into the fashion trends. Now, not meaning like I didn't fit in with the people who wore those clothes. I mean, I just didn't fit into the clothes. Because back then, T-shirts stopped at extra large.
Yeah, but you had to go went to double XL.
You had to go to a specific store to get bigger clothes. If you needed extra large, your fat ass is going to fucking, big and tall stores. And I know this because that was my life for a long time. So even as a kid, like there was a store that went from like child sizes to grown up sizes, and I always had to go.
Yeah,
I always had to go to those stores.
Definitely was not as much of a thing back.
Right. It was like you had to look for them. You know, there was one right by my parents, like right by where I grew up. So that was good for us. But other than that, it's like, you know, you had to go looking for it. And once the internet became like a more common thing, that's how you got your
More
fat guy
streamlined,
clothes.
accessible.
Right. So anyway, going
To
back, yeah, back to Peter Steele. Hey, this is Peter.
Johnny, Kenny, Josh.
So Bloody Kisses was like their like breakout record. You know, it's like obviously they had stuff before it, but this was the one that got them more popular. You know, it was one of those things, listening to it, loving it, buying it, listening to it over and over and over. Then, you know, starting high school, and no one really talked about it until they started talking about it. You know, I had one guy come out, he's like, hey, have you ever heard of Typo Negative? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. He's like, yeah, because, you know, what's his name was listening to it. He showed me the cover. It was like two girls making out. I'm like, all right, wait, hold on a second. Were they making out, or were they like, was one kissing like the other on the cheek? He's like, no, they were actually making out. I'm like, damn, he's got the special edition. You know, like I remember the special edition had them actually kissing. It had like extra songs on it or something like that. And I was like, damn, man, I want that. I want that version.
I need that.
Yeah, it's like I need the extra songs. And, you know, especially when you're like 14 years old, it's like two girls kissing. It's like, ooh, wow.
Tantalizing.
Well, because the stuff in that album was wild. You know, forgive her, for she knows not what she does. And the song's called Christian Woman, you know? And again, at the time, being a Catholic, going to Catholic school, hearing this giant vampire of a man singing, Jesus Christ looks like me. I'm like, can he say that? Like, is that okay? Like, are we doing this? It's like, fuck yeah, we're doing this.
Dude, he was a giant ghoul of a human being. Like, he was like Rasputin and like Dracula combined into one. It was amazing.
I remember when October Rust came out after Bloody Kisses. Again, still in high school. And that became like a lot of people's like their favorite album. I love October Rust. Don't get me wrong.
One of those albums, like, you know, and you've had them with your, you know, various bands.
Yeah.
For me, October Rust was an instantaneous, like the moment the first song starts, and not the first track, the first song. As soon as it started, for me, like, once again, I can only speak for me and my taste. I love ethereal, I love brooding, ambient. It's one of the greatest albums ever made, period. And it pissed me off back in the day that they got shit because everybody complained it was overproduced. I'm like, the album was incredible. You'll never, I'm telling this to anybody that's not familiar with it, go out, or don't even go out, just go to YouTube, just put on October Rust. And if you want an album that will immediately envision fall, autumn, Halloween, like if you want something to listen to when it's cool out, and it's one of the greatest albums ever made.
It was such a great follow-up record. But that's been the case for Typo Negative for their whole career. Everything that they put out, whatever came out after, it wasn't a letdown. Because you know how bands can be like, they'll put something out that's fucking phenomenal, and then it just kind of like drops with the next one.
Well, for me, I look at like Typo is one of my all-time favorite bands, right? And
agreed.
It's like,
I would say so.
And they're one of those bands that, to me, there's only a handful of bands which they're your favorite, but they're also a band that which I refer to as a loose terminology, a flawless band in the sense that they cannot come out with anything bad. Like every album they come out with is always going to be good. It doesn't have to be your favorite, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be like groundbreaking. You just know that they reach a certain echelon where like a certain band hits a point where, you know, no matter what happens, they're always going to come out with something at least minimally great.
And apparently Pete made sure of that. Pete Steele made sure of that, because if something was not to his liking, gone, cut, snip it.
Which is brutal, because it means we have no post-image stuff. Like he's the one artist, and I've lamented this many times to you, like, you know, outside of the show. Like, I'm like, we'll never get anything else from them, because everything that they wanted to put out is out. Just some live stuff.
I did see a video, I think it was either TikTok or Instagram, maybe both, where Kenny Hickey was playing a little snippet of a live performance that they are going to release as an album, which I'm cool with that, because I only got to see, well, we both only got to see Type O Negative live once.
Once again, to lament, we never got to see them like a lot. Like unlike War, where we've seen them multiple times. Unfortunately, just the way life rolled out, we only saw them once. It was a hell of a show,
Yeah,
but we don't have a
was,
massive
man.
history of seeing them over and over again. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, and obviously I wish it would have been, but dude, one of the greatest things about that show, because I had, basically what you were saying earlier about Type O Negative is the same thing that you said about Pink Floyd, that whole ethereal sound to it. I always kind of referred to them as a heavy Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
They had that kind of.
I get the reference. Yeah, it's
exactly
a very suitable reference.
Right. So when they opened that show, they opened up with "In the Flesh" by Pink Floyd, and they stopped it right before the vocals kick in and went into one of their own songs, which I can't remember what the song was that they went into at that point.
Yeah, I don't remember at this point.
Only because in my head I was so blown away by the fact that they actually played a Pink Floyd song. For again, it wasn't the whole song, but just the fact that they started with that, I was so mesmerized by
it.
Yeah, and it was like, oh my God, that's exactly what I said. It was me. I made this happen.
I started the wave.
It's like, I said that about them. I did.
That was me.
And dude, that was such a great fucking show, man. And
yeah,
because their whole color scheme is always it's green, and you had like all those green lights that really like set the mood for it and everything. And you got to love that. I mean, I love that when a band plays and they have like a certain color play. Like, okay, when I saw Aerosmith, I was never a fan of the song Pink until I saw them do it live, because they turned on all these pink lights, and it was just such a cool image seeing that. So when you see Type O Negative, they're all in green. He's got his green bass, and everything's green, and even the lights. It was just such an amazing, spectacular sight.
Great atmosphere.
Yeah, it was just it was beautiful.
It was.
It really was, man.
It was it's one of those transcendent performances, because you're so immersed in the world that exists there at that moment. And it's just, they're one of those bands, because their sound backs that up. It immediately projects you into this the middle of this ether where you're just vibing with everything that's being performed. And they're just one of those bands. They really are a special band, and they always have been, always will be. And obviously they're no longer together. It's one of those bands that once he was gone, that was pretty much the kibosh on the band. Understandably so.
Understandably so, because when it comes to a band like Type O Negative, you can't just have anybody replace them. You cannot just bring in a different voice with. And
it's not even just a voice too. It's he was the creative driving force behind that band.
Exactly. But the thing is, it's like when other bands get a different singer, the point is to get a different singer. They don't want somebody that sounds like the original singer. They don't want someone who looks like the original singer.
Trying to tarnish the memory.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, look, it's not, and it's not always so much about the direction the band is going. It's just, okay, we're moving on to something different. We want something that sounds different, because when you look at a band like Queen, they could have brought in somebody who sounds exactly like Freddie Mercury, but they didn't. You look at Linkin Park, they could have brought in somebody who sounded exactly like Chester Bennington, but they didn't. And in all honesty, I'm kind of glad that they didn't, like as far as Linkin Park, as far as Queen goes, because those guys who sound like those singers have their own thing going on, even though one, I forget the name of the dude that's in the Hybrid Theory, that the Hybrid Theory cover band is, the name of it's Hybrid Theory.
That's right. We talked about that several times.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I think he's better off not being asked to.
I think he's 100% better off.
Yeah, I mean, personally,
just because of the bureaucracy, you know what I mean? Like having to be that, like, and not to mention the ire he would have gotten, because you would have had people because you can't please people, like either give them what they want, and then they don't want what they want something else, so you never meet expectations unless you fall into a bracket in which you're protected.
Right, and with somebody like Emily, you're not going to please. You're really not going to please a lot of fans.
Yeah, but she's protected. You're not allowed to,
Right, exactly. She's
in that.
Right,
she can do whatever she wants, and you can never reproach her. You can never critique her, because she's perfect.
Right, but when it comes to Queen, You have Mark Martel, who is the greatest Freddie Mercury, like has the
Impersonator.
greatest. Right, but the thing is, it's like with him, it's like I don't even think it's so much like an impersonation. Like he really
He
sings like
just
him.
sings like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like they even got him to do extra vocals for Bohemian Rhapsody. You know, when they had to like put in some stuff that they didn't actually have Freddie Mercury singing, they brought him in to do voiceovers as Freddie Mercury. So, and he does his own thing, and it's not just all Queen's tribute stuff. He has his own music, but he does do Queen's tributes. You know, and I would love to see him live, even
Well,
if
if he
he's
has a
not.
voice like that, he should do his own stuff.
Dude, yeah, exactly. And again, he's one of those guys where he's better off that he's not actually with Queen, you know? I mean, listen, there are bands that will find somebody who sounds like the original singer. There was a point where Judas Priest brought in a guy who sang in a tribute band, a Judas
Yeah.
Priest tribute band.
I was gonna say Tim Ripper or something like that.
Ripper
wasn't it?
Owens, yeah.
Owens, yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of people say that he sounded just like him. And the movie Rockstar, I don't know if you ever saw
Dude,
the
from
movie
what I
Rockstar.
heard for when he came out, that album, it was good.
Right. So, and the movie Rockstar is loosely based on it, from what I understand.
Really? So based on that
Yeah.
specifically?
No, not well. Just they took some parts of the story, the actual story, and used it for that. Because you got Mark Wahlberg, who sings in.
I never saw Rockstar, by the way.
Yeah, he sings in a Steel Dragon tribute band.
Yeah. I remember the premise. Yeah.
Yeah, the singer leaves, and they're like, well, they kicked the singer out actually, and it's like
I just didn't realize it was based upon or loosely based on.
Yeah. Zach Wilde was in that.
Was he?
Yeah, if you ever want to see what he looked like without the beard and mustache, like you'll see it.
See, he's another one like Atkins. I just thought he just was already with that.
No, man.
Just born with that out the womb.
Right, yeah, right. It's like
out
he
the
came
womb
out
with a beard oil, like they smacked him, they started breathing. It's like, where's my beard oil?
It's like he came out of Viking, like
yeah. Dude, him and his laser etched arms, like dude, I love vanity, man. You gotta love the vanity with certain guys.
Right. But
I'm not even shitting on him. I love Zach Wilde, but like they care a lot about their aesthetics. It's a lot. It's not just him. It's all of them. It's just they all do it in certain facets.
When you say laser etching on his arm, like what do you?
Oh, I'm just kidding. Like it's because he's got those jacked. He always wears the sleeveless, and he makes it a point that he's got like the vascularity, and he's sitting there like my guess is he probably works out, or he just works out on his arms. It's like, you know what I mean? Like not a full body thing. It's just because when I solo, I want my biceps to be.
It's like everybody needs to know what.
And
this
he just
looks
sits and he plays. He's like, where he's in his fucking kilt with his fucking.
Check
arms
out my
oiled up
riffs. Yeah, okay.
Like I'm just saying that you can tell there's a lot of detail to his aesthetic that he applies.
So after October Rust, World Coming Down, I loved the album when I first heard it. But years later, I grew an even stronger love for that album. Because like I actually moved to Brooklyn for a little while. Very short time. And when I was there, I would listen to that album nonstop on repeat. Because I couldn't, it was the only when I moved, it was the only typo CD that I could find. I'm like, all right, I feel like listen, dude. And I just fell in, and this was early 2000. This was like 2006, and found a new love for it. I call it my Brooklyn soundtrack.
I mean, it is a Brooklyn soundtrack, all right.
Right. I mean, it's got the Brooklyn Bridge on the back, and we all know they're from Brooklyn, New York. It's just it felt right. It's like, all right, I'm in Brooklyn. I'll listen to some Typo Negative, and I just fell in love with that album. Like, because up until that point, Bloody Kisses is the album that I would swear by. I would say Bloody Kisses is my favorite album, but re-listening to that front to back to front, whatever, just nonstop. And I still do. I still can listen to that whole album front to back, no problem. And I still love every track on that record.
It's funny you mentioned that album. I actually, like, one of my many movie ideas I had, which I mean I still have, but I just never actually put into any fruition. But I came up with an idea when I was back when Mortal Kombat was out and everything, and I was thinking, it'd be really cool if they made a really cool, like a new like a more expanded version of Street Fighter. So, like in other words, we had obviously Street Fighter movies. We had the Jean-Claude Van Damme. We can't ignore that. It occurred. It's there.
Right. The all-American hero has a French accent. Makes sense to everybody.
Trust me, we remember that Blanca. But with I had this idea. I'm not going to flesh it out here, but like I had this I amassed this whole big like theme like of a movie, and then like a revolution of like a more serious tone with Street Fighter and making it like this massive story. And I came up with the story, and I was actually the subtitle was Street Fighter World Coming Down, and I was going to use that album for the soundtrack because I was listening to that album and I came up with this whole construct for a movie. And it's an awesome concept. Like, once again, this is not the time for it, but it all was revolved around that album because that was one of the albums when I was listening to it, you're so in the zone with it, and and it's so grand, and it's just wall of sound and this immersion. And when I'm in that place, I create. That's why so much stuff I've created was when I was listening to these certain albums over and over again, and that was one of them. And it's all around the world coming down because that album is a phenomenal album. That album was such a heavy album, like as far as hidden, like it from the moment that starts too, because it's like that same formula. Like they followed a certain formula that it wasn't too formulaic, but it was like this thing where they always had these little funny little gag tracks, and they have these little interstitials that would go in, and it would hit you. And then like every album was always guaranteed at least one phenomenal cover song. And they, to this day, them and Guns N' Roses, I think, were probably two of the best bands that when they did covers, they made it their own and made it a version that you loved immensely more than the original.
So that was one of the things I wanted to talk about. Every album pretty much has a cover song. Now, I wonder, because when you look at the originals of all these songs that they covered, they're pretty cheesy. Do you think that was the point? Do you think it was the point to take a cheesy song and typo it up?
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
And this is obviously, we have no inside knowledge. We don't know these guys.
Right.
But just gauging from like interviews and the personality that Pete was, and they never took anything seriously. So it makes immense, like, to me, it seems highly plausible that they intentionally picked those songs because they're ridiculous. And they're like, we're just going to do a ridiculous cover of it. And ridiculous in the sense that it's a completely different tone, completely different. Like, they never took themselves seriously. Like, that's it. And that's what I love. That's one of the best things is like that self-deprecative style in which they just always shat on their own music and they always apologized for it. And I was like, dude, you made, like when October Rust came out, it's like, I'm sorry, I hope this album wasn't too disappointing. I'm like, too disappointing. This is like, I was blown away. Like my life changed. And people that listen to music out there, you know what I'm talking about. When you listen to an album that blows you away, it changes you. You're not the same. You've now been exposed to something that has expanded your horizons and your mind and your state of being. And at the end, you have him apologizing for it.
Right. And
dude, it's you don't get better than that. It's just one of the he was, dude.
Yeah.
This is the guy. We're talking about Pete Steele, who the first album, he spread his ass cheeks open and had somebody take a picture of his fucking asshole. And that was the album cover. And the name of the album was most appropriately Origin of the Feces.
Yeah.
And that was the album cover. That was his asshole. Like, that's not someone else's. That's not a fabrication. This is way before AI. That was his own butthole. If you have to love, like,
I mean,
that kind of humor.
I was actually going to put that one on display, but I didn't think it would be something to really want to have up there for.
Dude, remember years passed before we actually saw the real cover one day? Like,
I remember.
They had the blank cover on it, and
didn't it have like the dancing skeletons on it?
It was something else. Yeah, I meant not blank. I just meant like it was like a completely different, softer cover.
But see, like that always kind of made me wonder. Like I never looked into it, but like Slow, Deep, and Hard, was that his ball sack? Wouldn't be surprised, right?
I never examined that album cover, but it's funny.
I'm looking at it. I'm like, what is that? Like, what is it? Is that a ball sack?
It is a weird amorphous.
It doesn't have any dimples, I'm like, where is it? What is it?
what is it?
What is it?
Drink it. It's milk.
But yeah, that asshole picture is.
I know, dude. It's one of when you finally saw the actual cover. I just remember dying laughing because I'm like, oh my god! And then you find out years after the fact, because once again, no internet. In an interview that is in fact Pete's asshole. And I was like, of course it's Pete's asshole. Like, dude, of course it's his asshole. Like, that was my immediate response. I'm like, of course it is. This guy he didn't give a fuck. It was just the funniest. Could you just imagine they're hanging out going, well, let's call it Origin to Feces. Hey, Kenny, take a picture of this. And just like spreads this fucking giant fucking like.
Well, people need to know where it's coming from.
Yeah.
People need to know the shit's origin. They re-released it on vinyl with the original cover, and it came with a scratch and sniff sticker, which I refuse to actually
use
scratch
your imagination
and sniff. Yeah, I mean, dude, far be it from me to like put anybody down for wanting to know what Pete Steele's ass smells like. It smells like ass,
dude. There was at least one person that got that and was like, "This smells like shit."
Smells like ass.
I know that smell.
But yeah, I never wanted to do it. And it's funny because you remember back in the day too, Pantera had Far Beyond Driven, and the original cover was an ass
drill
hat with the giant.
I had the
drill.
shirt. Remember, I had the.
Yes, I remember.
That was a rare shirt. You couldn't find it. Well,
they actually repressed it. They actually did it. I have the shirt. I only bought it because I was like, oh my god, I remember that. And dude, they also released that album on vinyl with the screw going up the ass.
Yeah, I mean, as well as it should. I mean, that's
right. Well, I mean, dude, it all goes with like the way the world is nowadays. Like people don't care. People put their ass all over fucking TikTok. So, TikTok, Instagram, well, Twitter more than anything. So
Twitter.
People are used to seeing fucking assholes and smelling shit. So especially if you live in New York, you smell shit a lot. So buying a scratch and sniff asshole record
shit isn't too really common of a smell in New York.
It's really much different than what you fucking
shit and weed.
Dude, it reminds me when I was walking to work one day, there was like these two people on the block while I was walking, and they're looking down and they see dog shit everywhere, And the guy's like, what the hell, man? There's dog shit everywhere. And the woman's like, yeah, there's dog shit here every day. We're going to call this shit block. It was just funny, like walking to work and just
like,
they should call this
shit block.
They should call this shit block. Very simple, very straight to the point. Hey, welcome to Shit Block. Can I take your order?
Dude, it reminds me of, I forget what I was listening to, but I was something a number of years ago. I was listening to someone talking about Alaska and how in Alaska there's a certain area, like a town, city, Alaska, and apparently there's a huge dog population. So
that makes sense, right? Somebody's got to push the sleighs, pull the sleds.
And well, yeah, but apparently there's an issue with the litany of dogs that exist there, and that is when
I'm sure
the snow recedes for spring and summer. When the snow recedes, there is a massive amount of dog turds everywhere. I'm not even joking about this,
dude. I don't think you are, man. I mean, that makes sense
because it gets funnier. So, you know what? I just remember now the origin of the story. It wasn't listened to. It wasn't a video. It was actually someone I knew in person. When I worked in this crab shack in Florida, it was I had a regular, and there was this couple, and the guy would tell these really funny stories because he was like, older gentleman, had a lot of money, very lavish, like in the sense that he wore a lot of rings and stuff like that. And
yeah.
And, very ostentatious, but not like in the wacky sense, if that makes sense. Not in like the super highbrow sense, more in that like,
I get what you're saying.
He was a big guy, he had like a shirt and everything, and he would just like a baggy shirt, and he would have these rings, and he would always tell me these funny stories. And he told me that he was a disc jockey in Alaska, and when spring came around, they would have this contest called Scoop the Poop, in which they would try to get people out there to scoop all the dog turds that were revealed by the receding of the snow. And how it was such a problem because there was so many dogs out there that you would literally, it was like shit block on steroids. Like there was nothing but at this point in the video, we can insert Bob Saget going, "Oh my God, there's shit everywhere! There's shit all over the car."
They should call this shit state.
But yeah, that's my little tidbit that I do. Apparently, that they have a very shit problem. When now I don't
See, that's
know
funny because like
how
that brings
accurate this
about
is.
other questions. Now, if I go out and I find poop, okay, if one dog took a dump in one spot but dropped 3 logs, does that count as 3 turds? You know what
This
I
is like
mean?
what came first, the chicken or the egg? What came
You
first?
know, it's like if I
the
bring
asshole or the
like
turd?
like how are they going to observe? It's like no, these 3 right here are the exact same poop, same color, same amount of grass, same amount of protein, whatever. Yeah, these 3 are the same turd, came from the same
Say
dog.
one.
It counts as one.
This is one segmented 3 times, but it's still one. I guess if it's like a 3-part episode, it's still one episode, right?
Yeah, right. Well, you know, when they put episodes like that on streaming, they put it together as one episode usually. So
I guess you know what it is. I
it
guess you could
checks
look at
out.
it as like a mini series where it's really one movie, but they break it up into like 3 or 4 so they can milk more, viewers.
Right.
So it's a
But
mini shit series.
it's like, nope, nice try, pal.
Yeah.
Just came from the same dog at the same time.
Look at this. Look at all this poopery on the floor.
I tasted it. Oh yeah, poopery. And
So I don't. Once again, I don't know. Like, I mean, I can't imagine him just making that up for the sake of the game. But like, if that is true, that's hilarious. If that is that much of a fucking problem
funny.
in Alaska,
That is funny.
Like, oh no, spring's coming. Dog shit. Like, all the dogs are out there, like dropping turds everywhere, like burying them like squirrels and nuts. Like, wait till the spring.
I mean, dude, what happens in the spring? You have Easter in the spring. Forget the Easter egg hunt. You know?
Gives new meaning to dog days of summer. Is that what that mean by that? Is that them like having their time going, look at our creation?
Oh my God. But
rising like the Tower of Babel.
Dude, how funny would that be? Instead of Easter egg hunts on Easter, it's
dog
like,
turns,
all right, kids, time for the dog turd hunt.
It's the dog turd tourney. Come on, guys.
The parents had to go out and look for them first and like stick quarters in the shit. Like, so like when the kids get there, it's like, oh, look, I got
a shitty job that is. Just fucking dropping them in there. Like, where are my pennies? Or imagine feeding the dog so it's already in there.
Or like rolling a dollar bill around one, you know?
Oh, yeah. Dollar. Can you touch dog shit?
Oh, my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah, so wacky shit, man. But
that is wacky shit.
Yeah.
The origin of the feces. Pete Steele's asshole. See, I always see him more like referred to as Peter Steele, but like I just always called him Pete Steele.
We always call him Pete Steele, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if that was ever, I don't know if you know.
I don't know what the official, like,
right.
expectation of saying his name.
Getting back to what you were saying earlier about how they like never took it seriously was how on the back of the record where it said, never mistake lack of talent for genius.
Yeah.
And that was a very important, it still is one
of my favorite lines. Like,
exactly, definitely. But the thing is, at the time when we read that, there was something about it that we kind of knew, or we at least felt that he was talking about himself.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's. It's like, listen, don't take what we're doing as like anything spectacular.
Yeah,
it's all right.
They'd be the first to shit in their music. That was the point.
Exactly, but it's like you can really attribute that to a lot of shit nowadays, where it's like, you see, because at this point, it's not just music.
Yeah,
it's like
it's everything.
We often talk about the crazy, weird, stupid, disgusting, dumb fucking shit that we see on Instagram and TikTok.
8 million views.
Yeah, they get 8 million views, and it's like, well, not even 8 million views, but like 8 million likes. And I'm like, do these people really like it, or do they feel bad for this person, thinking there's something wrong with him? It's like, you know what? This guy really needs a confidence boost. Dude. You know what, dude? Out of all the people I've seen stick French fries up their nose that had nacho cheese in it, you're the best, buddy.
But dude, the funny part, I'm glad you brought that up, because what the thing with that construct is this: regardless if they enjoy it or they don't and they feel bad, they still get the hits. They still win.
Right.
That's the thing. That's the crime. It's a crime.
And us sending it to each other like adds to it too.
I know, because even though we're sending it at a disgust, going, look at this bullshit. Like,
right, because
shares covered in chocolate, sitting in his car, 8 million fucking likes, like 1,400 comments, like 100 million views. It's like,
keep going, buddy. You're doing so good.
It's like, yeah, okay.
But then you see like the people who actually try. They actually try. Like they're trying to do something good. Like they're playing music. It's like this. These fucking dipshits who cover themselves in chocolate or stick nacho cheese up their nose and dip fries in it and eat it, they get the 8 million likes. But when you see like a guy playing like a fucking kick-ass solo, whether it's his own solo or one that he learned from, Dimebag Darrell, it's like they get in the thousands, but it's nowhere near what these fucking
because
dipshits
talent
get.
is not praised or at least appreciated. It is to a degree. Don't get me wrong. Like social media is not a total demonic cesspit. There are great talented people on there that really do, and I follow a lot of them. And like I love watching them, and I'll like it, put it on my story, stuff like that. But it's so much brain rot gets
absolutely
gets unbound views, and it's like, why do people look at it's? I don't get it, man. But it's not meant for me to get.
Well, the thing that like really gets to me when I'm looking at TikTok or Instagram are the trends. And like right now the trend is this cheeseburger video where it's like somebody sitting there with a cheeseburger and they're lip syncing over something where somebody was saying it's like a death metal voice, like a metal voice. It's like, hey, where's my server? There you are. Give me a fucking cheeseburger. And they just like start chomping it. They start chomping on this cheeseburger. 8 million likes. And again, it's not about the likes that they get. It's like, why are 8 million? What do people see in this video that's so great? Because then again, here we go. I say, and I preface it every time. Comments, guys.
Yeah.
Looking at the comments, and I see a lot of comments where like, this is fucking stupid. But then of course you got people jumping in. It's like, well, then why are you here? Oh, well, they're doing better than you are. Right. It's like, well, they're doing better than you are. And it's like, why are you defending this person who's fucking stuffing a cheeseburger in their face?
This fucking shitty cheeseburger eater, and you're fucking defending him?
Right, but then you get the clever ones like, hey, listen, dude, this girl's not going to fuck you. So like, just, you don't need to sit here and fucking defend this person. But it's all over the place. This cheeseburger trend, I think it's stupid. They just stuff a fucking cheeseburger in their mouth. Give me fucking cheese. And it's like, they're not even actually singing it themselves. They're just,
but it's mindless trends though. It's people like a lot of the people that are clicking on that and liking it are just doom scrolling because they're just going through these trends. And it's like, you'll have one maybe that will stand out and you'll get like, 8 billion fucking views.
Yeah.
But everyone, it's like, it's soulless. The whole process is soulless.
I agree.
You're looking at people just, once again, I've said this many times, gesturism. We are in the age of gestures. Just people being mindless gestures and just doing whatever they can get for clicks. And, the sad part is, these people will do it and it'll get clicks and they'll end up being able to monetize that page and they're making money doing this stupid shit. So you could laugh at them or you could even reproach them, but they're still they're still getting engagement. And it's nauseating because you're like, there are a lot of people out there that actually make really good content and they get a fraction of that. And then you have these mindless chodes that are just sitting there just jumping on the bandwagon of some bottom bitch fucking trend and they're getting fucking just pouring in, like just you see the hearts going. And they're like, yeah, look at this guy eat this cheeseburger. No one can do that.
It's like, it's not even hating, it's just trying to understand.
This is beyond hating. It's because hating means you're jealous.
Yeah.
We're not jealous. This is
right. Exactly. And it's just,
trust me, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, I just don't understand it, but there are other trends that I've caught too. And it's not even so much a video where somebody's doing something stupid like that. It's these people who have like these businesses who make like handmade items or whatever. And they'll often show the person who creates this stuff, like standing there kind of crying or looking sad.
Is that the clickbait where my business is going out and this is the last?
Right.
Yeah,
and it's,
that's the new thing,
like,
the new trap.
Right. It's, people said that no one would ever buy my hardcover book slip covers,
Dude, I saw one like that with a Mario. It's like a lamp. He's like making like it's a Mario encased in like resin. It's This is the end of my business is done. Buy these now while I still can. I'm like, oh my god.
I mean, dude, some of the stuff that these people make are cool, but it's
if
like
they're even making that though, dude.
Right?
Are they even making that? That's
right.
We're just watching videos, dude. It's
right, exactly. And I saw this one yesterday where this guy's like has his son like under his arm. His son looks all sad, like he just got done crying, and the caption said,
AI crying. By the way,
Yeah, don't buy a Gucci purse, buy my son's purse. And you see, you see him like crocheting these purses together. And again, whether it's him making it or not, it's a nice product. I just don't like that form of marketing where you're basically pulling at the heartstrings of the people who actually give a shit. Because again, you read the comments and it's like, oh, it's so great that you support your son and his business. And it's like, yeah, it's great for any father to support his son and his business or whatever his son does. But this is just a sad,
it's a scam
marketing
I'm gonna look right here.
that
here's the thing. Most people
I
don't
just
buy
can't get
this.
behind.
I can't get by it either, but 90% of those aren't even real people. It's just a business. They're just selling whatever they're selling.
Well, dude, I mean, on top of that, like now talking about real people, talking about AI people, and I've said this on the show where I feel like maybe 50% of the girls that I follow on Instagram aren't real. There's one in particular. This one called Willow the Goth.
Oh yeah, now, that's like AI.
On the surface, on the surface, good looking, cute girl, nice body, all the stuff, shakes, jiggles everywhere. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, I don't think this is real. I don't think this is real, because then they'll show a video of her like out of her goth clothes, like in like just like a regular t-shirt. And it's like, without getting vulgar, her breast size change from the time from where she's out of makeup and in like regular clothes. And then all of a sudden she's got curves, she's got giant tits. And I'm like, and of course, comments, what do they say, dude? What do these comments say to this AI girl?
Well, potential fire AI emojis. I love you. DM me. This is going to be all right. I want to attach an addendum to this. The first PSA I made episodes ago about this, because there's another aspect of this, because I follow a bunch of pages too, because you just follow a ton of pages and then you'll see them shift. Like you'll see somebody else owns the page now and makes AI brain rot. And in conjunction to what you were saying with that girl, there's ones I follow that are these girls that have these cartoon proportions, these fake bouncy fucking boobs, and are doing these things where they're doing things they're not actually doing. Like it's usually calisthenics where they're jumping and they're balancing, and they're doing these ridiculous. Or punching, they're shadow boxing, and it's completely fake. It's a full fabricate. It's an AI fabrication, and you'll go to the comments, and there's nothing but lonely dudes going, "Oh, you're so strong. It's amazing. What power, what ability." It's like, dude, you moron. It is AI. There was one dude, she had her underwear or whatever, and she had it in between like her fake AI butt cheeks, like over like the sweatpants. And like the top comment, I even sent it to you, was like, "Oh, I wish I could have those AI panties." I'm like, well, you're gonna need an AI nose to breathe it in, because they don't fucking exist.
Did he actually say AI panties?
No. He just said, "I wish I could have those panties." And,
right. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't remember that.
Well, better have an AI nose, because
yeah, exactly. And dude, with
I don't know if these people are serious or not, but like
I know, like when it came to that goth girl, I'm looking at it, I'm like I said from the beginning, like something that, like I followed her and I'm like, oh, she's cute, because like it was like a quick passing thing. I'm like, oh, she's cute. Go to her page, follow her.
You're doom scrolling. You just kind of
right. And I'm like, I like women. I like pretty girls, whether they're goth or, whatever. So so her videos started popping up on my feed more, and I'm like, something's off about this girl. Like, she's a pretty girl. I just don't think she's real. So I go to her page and I'm looking through it, and there's one thing that I notice. There is not one video of this girl actually talking to the camera. Not one. It's all of her lip syncing to something, talking, like whatever's playing in the background, moving to the music, whatever. There's no actual conversation. There's no actual, hey guys, I want to thank you all for following me. None of that.
Because here's the thing.
That right there makes me realize she's not real. She can't be.
So with that in particular, with her, not with the ones I'm talking about. Those are clearly fake. Like there obviously is a girl that existed, like had the social media, and she got plucked, like as far as the image, and now it's just nothing but a battalion of fake AI pages that are just creating these absurd videos. And one more thing before I continue with that. What is with the sweat? why are they always sweaty? What is AI with like? It'll be them working out with sweaty crotch. Say no to sweaty AI crotch. So going back to your thing, now you do have like VTubers and stuff like that. So potentially with her, she could be a real person using an AI model like filter and just creating that template. Do you know what I mean? Now,
I think
she may not.
Okay.
No, she may not be a complete fit because it goes when you delve into that area, like that realm, that goes into like cosplayers and all that stuff where they use a lot of AI filtering. So it's really them dressing up and them, doing whatever they're doing, but they are extremely filtered. Like like there's
like using AI to enhance it,
enhance it. And so it's becoming its own AI model, and that's a gimmick in itself. So she may be real. Obviously, her aesthetic is not. But
so for argument's sake, let's say this: the videos where it's her, let's say in a button down, no makeup, whatever, could potentially be what she really looks like.
Right.
And then when she does, the
takes it off, and then it's
whatever,
fake.
and then it's whatever. So potentially, she could actually look like the one in the first portion of the video, but uses AI to look like the second portion of it. So that's interesting.
Like cartoony, it's like cartoon bustiness and this overt like it's like topsy turvy, voluptuous style.
Well, because nowadays when it comes to AI, the type of shit that people can do with it, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's insane because there was a point where people would use Photoshop to make things look
right, and that
like
got
they're
its own little.
And I mean, one of the more famous photos was of a girl like standing, with her camera in the mirror, and she's got like a big butt, but you see the whole wall behind her curving with it,
right? Because they're bending, they're literally taking their thumb on the picture and pushing it out.
Exactly,
and that was one of the big giveaways.
Or the mouse or whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Before AI changed the game and made it now you can just make whatever you want.
And there was one where like another one was like a chubby dude like lifting his shirt, and you could totally tell that those weren't his abs.
Yeah,
the way they were stretched. But again, you were able to tell. But with this one, I'm able to tell, and other people are able to tell too, because you go through the comments, you find that one other comment where it's like, there's no way this girl's real.
Yeah.
And I even looked it up. I'm like, all right, let me see what Google has to say about her. And I'm only choosing this one girl in particular because she's the one who shows up on my feed more than any other, So again, I clicked on the link on her page that brings you to all her links. I checked that out, and I'm like, there could be just some dude behind this, like making money off of this.
Dude, most
AI
of them
girl.
are. It's not even the actual girl's account. Most of them, it's
right.
Some dude that just hijacked the image and is just using AI to just make a shit ton of money.
Right. So when I Googled her, like one of the headlines for one of the links was Willow the Goth, not real, AI. And it was just somebody going off on, hey, this girl's not real. I don't know why you're trying to like get with somebody who's not real.
They love getting with.
And again, it doesn't necessarily confirm that it's true because it's just somebody like me who's like, there's something off here. There's something not right here. And it just kind of makes you wonder how many of those other people that I follow are also fake.
Probably like conservatively, most.
Yeah. And like I said, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised because everything is fake now. Everything is fake. You know me? I'm not here.
Yeah. You're right. This is AI.
Yeah. This is AI. This is A.
Hey.
Well, because you know how they always like mispronounce shit. It's like
this is A.
You can make your own Giuseppe in our new APP.
That is actually very accurate. You think they would get that right, but they don't.
Yeah, create a new video with Sando, starring Giuseppe in our new APP. And Sono, we can write a song for you. Just give us the prompt and we'll do it.
It's kind of crazy though. We're in that now.
It's really crazy, dude. Like I said, when we spoke about that one, the Voclia Doubler 2, the one where like you and I could have started a band back in the 90s if this thing existed, doing the whole you know what I mean?
We would have like literally a discography full of albums.
Right. But the thing is, it's like, all right, being a content creator nowadays, you're going up against a lot of crazy shit. You're going up, it's like, and it's not even really, it's not like it's a competition. You know what I mean? It's just more trying to get out there, do something with it. See, try to get people interested in what you're doing, obviously. And you got the people who resort to the dumb shit, covering themselves in chocolate. You got people who do podcasts, and you got people who do like food videos or whatever. And you kind of see who gets more attention. So when it comes to something like that, the double or two, us doing like the whole like writing songs like that, who mouths riffs better? Who's going on tour this summer? It's like
who finger skateboards better.
So right, and exactly. So it's like, who does fake shit better? So attributing it to what I was saying about being a content creator, there's always it all depends on what people like. So it's like we could have been putting out good shit, mouthing our mouths off, doing songs, but if someone was better than us, we wouldn't be the one on tours with two microphones. Kind of like how that pertains to content creation, where you could be putting out something that's really it could be helpful, it could be funny, it could be fun, it could be educational, but people would rather see a guy stuff fucking French fries up his nose that is filled with nacho cheese.
Buffoonery.
Yeah, it's
because we are in the age of the jester.
We are in the age of the jester. That's it, man.
It's stupid human tricks from David Letterman on steroids, and it's just a bunch of people getting their dopamine fix by getting that rush when like 10,000 people like heart their stupid fucking video of them stuffing pretzel sticks up their nose.
When I would post something on Facebook and I would get 10 likes, to me that was success.
Yeah.
That's success. It's like,
yeah, but I mean, like there's a, once again, we have to make this delineation. It's like what is brain rot and what is content? Like, I don't want to shit. I'm not here to shit on all content, but like you really look at stuff that gets the most clicks, and it's just absolute brain rot bullshit.
It really is.
It's like,
really is.
Why is this being celebrated? There are plenty of people, dude. I follow a ton of people, and like they're either really funny, comically, great at editing, great at AI videos, great at music. Like there, and it's all worthy of being seen and worthy of being out there. And then you have the rest of this tepid runoff that is just mindless, abject brain rot that gets more views than all the rest combined. And it's like,
right.
What is this? Like, why do we celebrate the mindless gesture? Like these, like it is just, I don't know, man. I don't get it. It's.
I don't either. I don't. I listen. There are certain things that mean absolutely nothing that I like. Like, I'm not an AVSMR or whatever the abbreviation is. Like, I can't stand that shit. ASMR. Thank you. What you know what I mean? I can't stand that shit. Like, I can't stand the whole, like, even if it's just somebody talking, it's like, hey, guess what we're doing today? Even me doing that right now is driving me nuts because I hear it in my headphones and it's like, ew, gross.
I'm not a fan either, but I see the place for it. Like, I could see how people like that.
See, one of the things that I do like
I could see it. Like, I could see. To me, I don't consider that brain rot. I'm not into it, but it's like I can see how that's soothing people, and people may like that. It's
one of the things that always kind of catches my interest, and I don't know if it falls within that category, is hot metal ball versus. It's just somebody like taking a metal ball, sitting it into fire,
just like into
and see how it reacts when you put it on other
different
things.
mediums, right?
Yeah. So it's like,
I've seen it
how does it react when you put it in like hair gel and you just
put it on a Snickers bar, put it on
exactly. Like for some reason I like watching that.
Well, it scratches that. It's the same thing. It's that same part of the brain in which you have like the fidget spinners and all that stuff where it satisfies that part. Like, you ever like those things where there's videos where there's video to it, but you're really listening to the audio?
Yes, yeah.
And it's just clips of satisfying things like people shaving off soap or people doing various things. It scratches that weird itch that we all have. Like we all have it. Like I don't necessitate a fidget spinner in life, but like I will sit there and you're captivated by these visuals.
Right, but the thing is, the thing that just boggles my mind is how did that become a thing? How did somebody think, okay, I'm going to put out a video where I'm building a doghouse, but I'm going to put a soundbite from a Martin Scorsese interview on The Tonight Show from 1987. Like, who the fuck thought of that? And how did that become something that people actually enjoy watching? I'm one of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I'm watching this dude, and I know I've sent you a couple of these where this guy is making molds of something in sand, and then he puts the melted metal in it, and
Right.
it makes that shape.
Yeah.
Yes, again, another one of those videos that's like it has that like satisfaction when the video's over, but the sound over it is something completely different.
Yeah.
It's like an interview from an old TV
Yeah.
show or
a radio show clip.
yeah, or a monologue from a movie. It's just it doesn't match, and I'm watching it, and I'm stuck in it, and I have no idea what the fuck is going on. I'm like, am I supposed to be listening to the monologue, or am I supposed to be learning how to make a mold for some metal shit that I want to make?
Honestly, it could be just trial and error. Like when you have stuff that's constantly put out, it see what picks up, and then once that picks up, everyone jumps on it. So it's like, and then when that does, it becomes
It
so
really
pervasive. It becomes ubiquitous with online. So, and you'll see it all the trends. That's why things trend. It's I don't think that I don't because like when you see stuff like that, who knew that would become big? But it's just one of those things. It just did.
Yeah,
Somebody made it and just they went, fuck it, let's just try this. Let's just make this visual and throw it with that, and it became big. So then it's like everybody, it just becomes like a just an unbridled like free for all. It just everyone goes into it.
if you're ever around kids and you see some of the stuff that they watch like on YouTube, and you watch them watching another kid on video opening and playing with toys. And I'm like, why? Like, what do you like? What is so exciting to a kid about watching another kid play with toys, especially if you don't have those toys? But then again, cut to like the next day, finding out who the angry video game nerd is, and I'm like, oh, this guy is great. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm watching a guy playing video games.
Yeah.
It's but obviously with him, it's the way he does it. Like
Yeah.
I still love I love the angry video game nerd, and it's just weird because I'm sitting here, just watching kids watch kids play with toys, and I'm like, what's so great about this? And then I get introduced to the angry video game nerd. I'm like, wow, this is great. And it's like the way he puts it up, he'll put like a full season. I'll watch the whole season. I mean, basically, what I am criticizing these kids for doing, I ended up doing myself by watching the angry video game nerd.
It's funny too because another age that we're in conjunction with gestorism, if you will, is we're in the age of spectator. Like it's everyone's a spectator now. Nobody actually does anymore. Like kids don't even play anymore. They'll sit there and watch other kids play. And to me, another facet of that, like the unboxing stuff that I never understood, is when it's a massive market too. Like Pokemon cards, like people sit there and just they have millions of subscribers and they'll just sit there just open up Pokemon cards, and it's like I don't know, I don't get pleasure of seeing somebody get cool cards that you don't have. It's like I'm not even jealous, but it's like okay, you got that rare Charizard, okay, good for you. I don't care. Like it's like I don't want to watch that shit. Like it's
right.
And it's not just Pokemon; it's anything, any card sets. Like
absolutely,
there's a market. Totally people sit there and people give them money. Like literally, they pay them. They'll feed them money like through a wood chipper, through all the cash apps and everything, and so they can go out, buy more boxes, and then sit there and then open them and then scream like little children when they get a card they want. And it's like I don't. How is that entertaining?
Right.
That's not entertainment to me. That's not,
and that reminds me of another trend that I've been seeing is this like jelly filled soup dumplings.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking
Jelly
about?
filled soup
or whatever's in it. It's like some kind of liquid filled.
I mean, soup dumplings do exist. I don't.
No, right. But these aren't actual soup dumplings. These are like stress ball type things.
Okay.
So in these videos, it's people, opening the box, the little round box that these come in, and apparently the ones that have sparkles in it are rare. So you see them opening it. If it doesn't have sparkles, they're like, oh man. And if somebody has the one with sparkles, they go nuts. But this is trending and people watch it and people like it. I'm like, first of all, again, it's the whole spectator thing. It's like watching somebody get something that you don't have. But for somebody like you, for people like you and I, don't care that they have it.
Nor do I care to see it. Like I don't even want to see it.
Will be and of course, whenever
that's like
something
it's not
pops
enjoyable
up,
to me. Like I don't want to watch this shit.
Right. But the thing is, of course, whenever something pops up on your feed, you stick around for a second to see if it's interesting.
Dude, if you watch it for
But
like
then
a
when you
couple
see-
seconds, then all of a sudden it's in your algorithm, and then it's
Exactly.
gonna
And
see
that's
nothing
the
but that.
problem, because that's all I see. The cheeseburger thing, the people said that nobody were going to buy my crocheted socks. Prove them wrong, people. I'm pulling at your heartstrings right now. Buy my shit. I'm sad.
Dude, it's like the Ethiopian kids remember back in TV days, the days of TV when you had the ads, like.
Yeah, but that was different.
But it's still pulling.
Sally Field wasn't working, and she needed to eat. Okay,
God, she ate the children.
She probably did, because you don't see those commercials anymore.
I mean, dude, you also had. Yeah, it's true. Dude, we also had an era where people ate Tide Pods. So I mean, what are we really,
Dude, I mean, the
really
fucking shit. The shit that we saw growing up, man. And we have friends who have done stupid shit.
Oh,
but not that fucking stupid. Not that fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's a new level of mindless.
Right, like it's like kids just can't do like the regular drugs that people from our generation used to do. It's like LSD. Fuck that. Give me those Tide Pods, bro.
Give me the feces.
We also have the same generation who are eating Tide Pods figured out that they can get drunk by shoving fucking alcohol up their ass, or
alcohol
hand sanitizer
faster than the pooper.
Yeah, they're pouring alcohol, like they're opening their assholes. They're eating fucking hand sanitizer. They're sticking hand sanitizer up their ass.
Didn't Steve-O do like beer funnels in his ass?
I'm sure he did. I if that was in one of the movies, I'm sure I saw it. I just don't remember.
The sad part is I don't think it was just in a movie. I think it's something he did often.
Dude, I'll be honest with you, man. Like a lot of the shit that I knew about, like the Jackass crew, like whatever was in the movies, a lot of that shit I blocked out because a lot of that shit was gross because it had to actually do with shit.
And just, but I don't know. There was a lot of like masochistic things they would do.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I there were certain things that were funny, but again, it's another one of those things where you're sitting there watching somebody basically torture themselves.
Yeah, I mean, dude, how many times
some of those things
they would let themselves get bit by shit? Like I think I remember Chris Pontius. I think stuck his dick in a fucking like a tank with and had it painted like a snake and had a snake bite it. I feel like they painted his dick or covered his dick to make it look like a snake. No, they covered his dick with they covered his dick with like a piece of cloth. Yeah, like bite it,
drew a face on it, and yeah. Like, and they use a string to like make it move around and all that stuff.
Yeah. Then you wonder why years later people eat in Tide Pods.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, how can you dispute that?
I mean, we laughed at Jackass, but to me, Jackass got old like after like the first year.
Right. There are certain.
But they lasted like 10. Like it's crazy.
Dude, they're coming out with a new one.
Well, I think they're coming out with a new one because they need like Steve-O. Like I remember recently, he's been crashing out because he's not relevant anymore, and so. Like these guys' egos, it took a hard blow. Like it's like
I'm sure, man. I mean, dude, they were on top of the world for a while.
Yeah, but nothing. See, here's the problem: nothing lasts forever. Even cold November rain.
I know. See, there was also a video I saw. I think it was while they were CKY or whatever they called it, Camp Kill Yourself.
I love CKY, the band.
Well, yeah, I wasn't talking about the band. I was talking about like I think that's what Bam and his crew used to call.
Bam's brother's the drummer for it.
Right. So,
but that's the first videos they made were CKY, and that's where they used to play the songs in it.
Right. And I remember one of the guys, I forgot which one it was, but they told him to piss on an electric fence. And in the next scene, you see him piss on it, and in the next scene, you see him crying because his fucking dick got zapped.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you have a steady stream, it'll travel. Doesn't take much. Like, I loved Bam, you know what I mean? And I followed Bam after that, outside of, Jackass. I liked Chris Pontius. Like Johnny Knoxville, wasn't a huge Johnny Knoxville fan. He was the actor. Like, he was the one, like, once Jackass got big, he opened up the doorway to all the movies. And he wasn't bad. Like, I'm Jeffy, I like apples. Like, The Ringer was a funny movie. I mean, what more can you do? Like, that's the thing I don't get. Like, they're making another movie. To me, I just look at it as we need more attention. Like, it's like we need more money and more attention.
But the thing is, too, it's like at that age, like, what can you really handle? Or are you just getting, like, other young kids and
at this point, I don't think they give a shit.
Hey, guys, this is what you got to do.
Dude, Steve-O has done... I remember him on a talk show. This is a number of years ago. After, when Jackass kind of disbanded and, like, all of them are doing their own solo things. Steve-O had his fucking podcast in the van and all that shit. And then he was doing this tour where he was trying to tackle stand-up comedy because now he's a stand-up. And then he was doing this whole thing where he was doing this checklist, this bucket list of all this shit. And one of the things he was so proud of accomplishing was like jumping. If I recall correctly, I may be somewhat incorrect in this, but from what I remember, I think it was something to the effect of jumping out of a plane and jerking off and coming while, free
While
falling.
falling.
And he was so proud of this accomplishment. And I'm like, that's your big accomplishment? You came in the air? Like that's what you wanted? That's your Mona Lisa? That's your
But see this is where the fans come in. You come out and say something like, all right, like this is your claim to fame, this is your big moment, is fucking blowing a load while you're in the air.
Like I just
Well, how much money do you have? How much do you make? What do you got to do? Like all that shit. It's like, why are you sticking up for this person? You can like a person, but don't attack me because I think that what this person's doing is stupid. Because I can think that what this person's doing is stupid. You're coming to his defense. He's not going to come into the comments and be like, "Oh, thank you so much,
dude." All the money in the world is not enough to lower and debase your character for that.
Exactly, and it's like
I don't care about that. Like, I don't care about money like that at all. Like
as much as Steve-O doesn't give a shit, as much as Jackass might not give a shit about what we're saying about them, they don't give a shit about you sticking up for them.
They have they have no right to. I mean, no reason to care what we say. But
right, well, that's exactly it. I mean, they made money doing it. They became famous doing it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, think about it. When you have no skill and you just do stupid shit and you make millions because of it, good on you for that.
Right, but who's the real dumbass? Them or us?
I mean, ultimately, it's
I don't mean us. Obviously,
the
I
people
don't
that support it. You're referring to,
right?
Yeah, I know what you mean. The populace. But it's like once again, this goes hand in hand with social media and why people cover themselves in chocolate and sitting screaming in the car are getting 8 million fucking likes and it's the same thing. It's people support it, so they're just as culpable as this brain rot entertainment that they're a part of. You look at Jackass, naturally they're going to come out with one more. I'm surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, 10 years from now, they're in wheelchairs, trying to do something because they need more attention and money.
It's funny you say that because at the end of, I think it was the Jackass 3D, they come out in wheelchairs and it says like Jackass 15 or whatever, and it's all them like dressed as older versions of themselves. Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Because if they're still alive at that point where they're in wheelchairs, they will absolutely, undoubtedly make another movie.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Like putting alcohol in their fucking dialysis machine or some shit. Like it's ridiculous, man. Like there's a level of like, okay, like how low can we go in intelligence? Like
yeah, I mean,
like de-evolve into like.
There's a lot of dumb shit and a lot of gross shit. I'll say it
it's
again.
All super gross, bro.
There was a lot of gross shit. And I was gonna bring some of them up, but I don't even want to talk about it because I'm like thinking about it, and it's like I don't want to force that on anybody else,
dude. When like
it's just a lot of gross shit.
It's just like when you have Dave England, right? Like taking a dump in a toilet in like a So let me rephrase that.
In the store,
taking a dump in a display toilet.
Yeah,
not an actual functional toilet, but like a display toilet, like in what is a hardware store, whatever.
Well, yeah, it was like a Home Depot type of place,
like that. This is. I mean. You get what you pay for.
Dude, all right, since you brought that one up, in the 3D one, you see like this display, like a town area with mountains and streets and all that stuff.
Shit came down?
No, it actually came up because someone was part of the display. They painted his ass to look like a mountain or a volcano, whatever it was, and then you just see shit like shooting up out of it.
Okay, yeah.
So it was like an eruption, and it's like
a geyser.
Come on, yeah. I'm like,
Krakatoa.
Gross.
Well, dude, there's another one too. Once again, I don't remember if it was a show, one of the early movies, but it was like a little bathroom. You see a little bathroom, and then you see a giant turd falling on it, and then as the camera pans back, it's Dave England taking a dump on a little mini bathroom set.
It's so gross.
And it's like, what is this obsession with shit? It must be a demonic thing, like in.
I don't know, dude.
Well, no, because if you delve in Satanism and like rituals,
it's the Golgothan.
It's an obsession with body fluids and excrement. Like in other words, like they say, like with demons, right? If you worship demons, they want you to like literally get on your hands and knees and like kiss their ass. It's
gross.
in other words, like like there's that obsession with all of the negative aspects of.
If any of their asses look like Pete Steele's ass, that's a no for me, dog.
Dude, you know what's funny too? That album, I didn't really listen to it back in the day, but like it wasn't because I've always listened to Typo. I'll go through periods where I'll listen to Brand New. I'll go through a period where I'll listen to Typo, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. And it wasn't until like maybe like 6 years ago, I was like, you know what? There's a lot of first albums that I never really sat and listened to, and I went Slow, Deep, and Hard and Origin of the Feces, and dude, I love like they became some of my favorite albums too. Like Origin of the Feces, just the recording that the fact it was to mimic a live show that they had. In German, it's one of the funniest. Like the interactions that they reenacted. I guess you say.
Yeah, where they have was it Hey Peter instead of Hey Joe? Yeah. Hey Peter, where you going with that axe in your hand?
Yeah, I love the
yeah, that was great.
Dude, when he's like when the sirens going off, you hear like the people like you just hear all this ruckus, and he's going. It's supposed to be like a bomb threat, and he's like, instead of standing here looking at us, why don't you walk out the door? It's the funniest. Dude, that album is I'm so glad I finally gave myself the time to get to the album, because that album became one of my favorite albums as well.
Let's raise some ruckus.
Look at the door.
Let's raise some cane.
Damn, dude, I was just watching Brock. It saddens me to see him. I mean, I don't know if this is official retirement. I don't know if it's like a ploy for another match down the line.
Yeah, see, one of the things about Brock Lesnar. All right, so just for context, it's WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah,
and my buddy messaged me, and he showed me like it was a picture of the screen where Brock and Paul Heyman.
I'm watching it right now.
Yeah. Like they were hugging. Yeah, it looked very emotional.
Taking off his shoes, and he's crying, and his face is as red as a tomato, and he's hugging. Yeah, it's pretty. Like I'm not gonna lie, a tear came in because it's like when you watch this, whether this is contrived or not, it is symbolic regardless. It's like when you're watching a great, like, especially a wrestler you love, and you're watching him for their final time, and then go through the emotions of them feeling that moment where they're going, I'm retiring right now, and let me put my shoes in the ring, and this is like, I'm not coming back out here in a match, like this is it. Yeah. It's extremely emotional. Like it's you, like even as a fan, regardless of the kayfabe and all that bullshit, you have to appreciate somebody whether you like them or not. Like they put their life in that ring, and it's like when they finally put that symbology where they're going, I'm ending it. You can't help but feel, unless you're dead inside. Like you have to be literally like either a serial killer or dead inside to just not feel that emotion. It's
right. No, I get it, man. I get it. I mean, dude, we've seen a lot of our favorite wrestlers retire. We've seen a lot of our favorite wrestlers die. It's because they've been a big part of what entertained us for so long. I always go back to the Attitude Era because like that was the last great like movement in wrestling for me. I didn't really go much past that. I'll always love the Undertaker. I really didn't get into the Badass era.
We've talked about it. I hated the Badass era.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it. Because there was just something so much more.
Well, the mystique was gone,
for lack of a better term, right now. The darkness, the theme song.
Yeah, but he was not even. You questioned him being human, even. It's like
he was the
phenom, and then he became a beer drinking, motorcycle driving, American good old boy, and it's like, what the fuck is this? And then he went back. I'm like, you can't go back now. And then he went back to being Undertaker again. I'm like, how do you now? You're in debt again.
I just don't get what the thought process was for creating the character that way, like trying to recreate the character as basically another Stone Cold.
Dude, I mean, maybe that's his personality, and he just wanted to do something like more like Tim. After all those years, and being that he's Undertaker, dude, he could do whatever the fuck he wants at that point.
Right? But it's like you went from that to that. You went from the Undertaker to.
I know, but like I told you, like I said just a moment ago, like, but the part that gets me is he went back.
Yeah.
Remember, because after he did the American Badass, and then he did the Ministry again, and then that's when he grabbed them. I was like, how do you? I just don't. It's like the Batman and Joker. You can't be both. Like, how do you go back to being undead? Like,
right. Well, obviously I was happy when he went back because I didn't really watch while he was.
I was
the
happy
badass.
too, but it fucked the whole like kayfabe up. You know, like it's
right,
like
yeah.
you're really just
totally
kind of
get that.
pissing on it now. Now it's just like
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do whatever I want. Like
It just made no sense to take a phenomenal character and just turn it into that.
Dude,
It's like
going
made
back
no
when
sense.
we were kids watching it, like you didn't look at it. He wasn't a man. He was like this demon. Like, you know, just came walking out and you didn't think he could die. You know, it's like one of those things like you could hit him with a truck and he would sit up and be angry. You know, it's like
Yeah.
that's how good like that illusion was like growing up. And then he's, you know, riding a motorcycle coming out to fucking Kid Rock and drinking beers and with a bandana, and it's like, okay, now he's just a normal dude.
Yeah, now you look like what an Undertaker looks like now. You know,
Yeah.
it's like there was something more.
To me, I
As
thought
you
it was a
said-
shitty. I thought it was a shitty turn. Like I didn't like it because it ruined the mystique. And then when you went back and he had his ministry, I like that.
Right.
You can't, like, if you have your meal on the table and somebody hops over it and takes a dump on it, you can scrape that off, but the meal still got shat on. You know, it's
Right. Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
okay, it's the spaghetti that I like again, but there was shit on it before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? Like, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah. It was a change that didn't need to happen. And it's like, I don't think enough people liked it for them to keep it or to even change it. Like, I don't think there was anybody that ever said, you know, The Undertaker's awesome, but it'd be so much cooler if he like came to the ring in a fucking motorcycle.
Okay, I'll add one thing to this. Once again, trying to extend an olive branch to those hardcore fans out there that may be spitting up blood at us, expressing ire for the American Badass. I don't hate the American Badass gimmick. I think it's a cool gimmick, but I think it's a crappy gimmick when you had the undead Undertaker before that. Like, if he just was that gimmick, that would have been a cool gimmick. Wouldn't be for me, but it's a cool gimmick. I get it, you know, because a lot of people love the biker, like the American Badass, all that, you know, Americana crap. But I just love I love the old school Undertaker. That
Yeah.
there was a reason why that got over, you know, and it's a reason why Kane got over, you know. And then when he took the mask off Kane, I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Stop
just
it.
didn't- yeah. It didn't. That never worked for me either, man. When Kane took the mask off, shaved
all
the
for
head,
him talking, all for removing the, you know, opening the mouthpiece so he could talk, but then having him just be like the goofy, half-shaved head, like, you know, socially awkward dude just became weird. I didn't like it.
Yeah, certain things that they did to wrestlers that I just wasn't with. Like even when like they took Seth Rollins and turned him into like a goofy character, I'm like,
Dude, they
come
turned him to
on, man.
Liberace. What the fuck is that? Like,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I was just like,
he's such a good dude. I still love him. Like, I think he's a phenomenal
yeah, no, he's
wrestler.
great. I agree. It's just when you take the character
But yeah.
outside of the ring, it's just like, why are you doing this?
But he's wearing like an 80s woman's business coat with like the puffy, you know, shoulder pads
Yeah,
in
with the
it.
shoulder
and I'm
pads,
like,
yeah.
what are you wearing? Like, what is this? This
Right.
this could have been his idea. Like, I mean, like you feel like going, you feel like walking in the back, you know, like, dude, was this your idea? Where's Vince? Get him out here! You come up with this?
Fired.
You're fired.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
I love Mark Calloway. Don't get me wrong. You know, watching him in some of podcast clips.
I hate
listening
him now.
to the podcast.
We
Which
talked about this after this whole.
yeah,
I don't give a shit about that dude, but like just seeing how he was, like how snaky he was, really made me feel a certain type of way about him. Dude brings you onto a podcast, you get really big, and then you just take it from under him and just go right to fucking WE. I'm like, you know what? Fuck Mark Calloway. Sorry, that was a real snaky fucking thing. I have nothing against that dude he did it with, that podcast. He seems like a cool dude. I don't even have a love for him. I dug the initial podcast and like when he was talking about, you know, because he had great stories to tell and it was a fun podcast for what it was. Didn't watch every episode by any means. I watched a handful, but they were good. And then I go going back a couple months later, and then you just find out now it's under WE's umbrella, and he's gone, and then his wife's there, and his wife is insufferable. I can't listen to her. You have certain women that are just so domineering and just have this tepid personality, and it's like this, God, and he's clearly for a like 7-foot giant of a man, he is the most whipped, dickless fucking individual. I'm just like, I can't. Sorry.
I know it's so sad to hear that, man. It really is.
It saddens me, and I'm not even, dude. You're the Undertaker fan, like
yeah, I am. And the crazy thing is, it's like I never really listened to his podcast.
Yeah,
I'd only really seen like little bits and pieces, clips, 5-minute clips, whatever it was. I just never actually listened to the whole podcast.
Oh.
And then you told me that he's traded out his original
he's
partner
so whipped, dude,
for his wife. So I was like, all right, I got to hear the difference. Dude. So I went back, I listened to some of the stuff with his original partner, listened to the stuff with her, and it clearly was a better show without her.
Light years better.
I mean, like, it's not like the dude was boring, It's like if he was doing the show and the guy was boring and he was like, it's like, look, it's not working with this guy. You got to do this with somebody else. I'd understand that. But if you're doing a good show, and it's like you said, WWE put it under their umbrella. So now you got to do what they say. It's like, yeah, you know what? I think it would be better if you did this with your wife. And dude, that's cool. It's cute in theory. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's like, I've seen it where people have commented on that where they liked the original guy more, But again, there are certain situations, there are certain things where people are like, you know what? This new guy's awesome. The old guy sucked.
Dude, I'm not even hating on him doing it with his wife. I'm hating on him because his wife, I don't like her. Like, she's terrible. Like, there's female wrestlers that were great wrestlers, great personalities, and so on and so forth. I don't find that with her at all. Like,
right.
Like, I remember when, like, back when she wrestled, during that time, that was a tenure where I really wasn't watching. But what little I did watch, she was so unmemorable to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like there was dude, going into era, there were a ton of really fun, talented, very memorable, female superstars, divas as they were back then. Because now there's a ton of great female wrestlers, which I love. There's a litany of them, and I love them, like, most of them. And I find them extremely talented, and I really do, and I enjoy the fact that female wrestling is as dominant as it is now. I like that it's as ambiguous as it is with regular wrestling. Like, in other words, they have their side. It's not just one match anymore. It's like, female wrestlers coming out and they do the intergender ones, and I love that. I think it's actually one of the best things for wrestling. Was Michelle McCool? I found her to be a marginal talent, and she's in the Hall of Fame. Like you can tell she's the beneficiary of having Undertaker for her husband. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I never seen such accolades to someone that's more undeserved of it. And whatever. Like, listen, there's going to be fans out there. I'm sure anybody that's going to be watching this is going to be a W fan is going to go, how dare you say that about her? She is a Hall of Famer. Yeah. It obviously means nothing if she's a Hall of Famer. So it's just a title. And she's so domineering and she's not even enjoyable. Like, I remember trying to watch it, like going, okay, here's an episode with them. And I was like, let's check it out. And she cuts him off. She's condescending to him, and he just babbles on. Like,
that sucks if she cuts him off. You really can't have somebody who cuts you off. You know what I mean?
Don't you hate when that happens?
I'm sorry, man. I apologize.
No, I'm sure you get the joke. I don't know, man. I don't understand how she dominates as much as she does with what little she brought to the table. And I know that's a hot take, and that's fine. Like, hate away at my opinion, but there are so many talented female wrestlers out there, and I do not even remotely consider her one of them. And and I also consider her personality even more. Like, I want to like it. Like it's not like I came in hating it. I was like, okay, the show's gone. That dude, he kicked that dude out and just took the show. And I'm like, well, let's watch a little bit of it. It's boring now. It's like, because he's not allowed to even tell his stories anymore. It's like, my God, like, just end this already.
Well, yeah, I mean, it really doesn't make for good listening when you actually do have somebody, like you said, cutting somebody off. Like, I can't stand that shit. I mean, obviously I did it as a joke just to, like,
yeah, but I don't, there's not even like a chemistry with them when they're talking.
Oh, that's sad. I mean,
and once again, I've only seen small sample size. I watched like half an episode, and I was just maybe it's gotten better. I'll give it that. Maybe it's gotten better.
Right. It's
no, I had nothing to say.
Right. Well, that's the thing. It's like, if you didn't like it and it did get better, it's like, are you really going to find out?
Yeah, I'm not.
Are you really going to put yourself in a position to be like, oh, okay, I'll you know what? It's been like a month or two. I'll check back to see if it's better. It's like that situation where people are like, "Oh, have you seen this show?" No, I haven't seen it yet. Oh, it's great. Oh, is it really? It's like, yeah, you got to get past the first like 4 or 5 episodes and then it gets really good. It's like, I don't want to sit through 4 or 5 episodes for it to get good.
That's like, when it's like a season, 24 episodes, you got to get past the first 20 episodes, but by the end, it's so good.
Right. That's exactly it, because like certain shows I'll watch, if I'm not taken with the first episode, I'm not watching it anymore. Like when Wednesday came out, I'm like, all right, you know what? I like Tim Burton. I like the Addams Family. Not really a fan of Jenna Ortega, you know that, but I like Luis Guzman. I think the dude's hilarious when he's doing funny
They're
shit.
making fun of us.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, so let me check this out. I didn't like the first episode. I thought it sucked. That's my opinion, obviously. It just didn't grab me. So I'm not going to watch the next episode thinking, all right, maybe it'll get better. It's different if a show starts out good, starts to suck. You want to see if it gets better. The Walking Dead. I've mentioned this before also, where The Walking Dead started out really strong, got up to like the 4th or 5th season where it just started going downhill. But I kept watching it in hopes that it would get better. And when I felt like it wasn't, I stopped watching.
Well,
so
that's milking the cow. That's the milk the cow syndrome.
Oh, absolutely, because there's like 7 spin-offs.
You could tell they wanted to end it, but it was so popular they had to keep making it. So they stopped trying at that point.
They really should have just stopped, though.
I agree, but think about more money they made, though. Like, that's the thing, though.
But dude, I mean,
they don't care about that shit. When something's popular on a network, especially actual television, they will ride it till the wheels fall off, and they will ride it even when the wheels fall off. Like, they'll keep pushing it. It could be a corpse, like, and they'll keep riding it. Like Seabiscuit could be like already in a bottle of glue, and they'll still ride that bottle to the end.
Yeah,
it's all corporate greed. And once again, I'm sure there's plenty of Walking Dead fans out there that are not like us. They continue to watch it and love it even to the end, and all the litany of fucking spin-offs and what have you. But dude, up until like the 5th season, it's when it really started just going, all right, we're done here. Like, this is pretty much done. Like, I mean, how long can you milk a zombie apocalypse to begin with? I mean, it's a finite situation.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I understand that it's based off of a comic book, and comic books get written into fucking eternity.
Right.
Or
anything written can last an eternity.
Exactly. So it's like you got a comic book that comes out, what is it, every month, every 2 months, whatever, the schedule for the release for each Walking Dead issue was. Obviously, when the show first started, the comic book was already in production for I don't know how many years. But the thing is, there's a lot of storyline that you have to follow. So it's like when you watch the show, it could potentially put people in the position to go out and buy the comic book. I didn't personally, because but I'm a big fan of zombie flicks. Anything that has to do with the undead. That's why I took to the show so easily. But like, the show was fucking great for a good amount of time. It just fell off. It was just like, I can't do this anymore.
Well, all things come to an end, and it came to an end, but they didn't end it. That's the problem.
Right. And then it's like, you find out years later, it's like, oh, well, this character died, this character lives, this one's going on, now the show is going on without Rick or whatever the fuck it was. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm glad that I'm not.
Dude, even when Rick left and they kept going, I'm like, is that not a sign? Like, can we just fucking end it, please?
Well, tell me you never read the comic book without telling me you never read the comic book.
Yeah. Guess what? I don't read the comic. Actually, it's funny you say that. So, speaking of suck, I just watched last night. That's not going to be a tirade per se, but I definitely have to talk about it because it does bother me. It certainly
does suck.
A week ago, as in last episode, I talked about watching the original Fog, which I love to death. One of my favorite movies. Instantaneously one of my favorite movies. Now, last night, I was in the mood for a movie. And as I was scrolling through Tubi, I saw The Fog, 2006, I believe.
Oh, the remake. Okay.
And I watched that. Boy, am I sorry I watched that.
I never saw it. I never saw it.
Okay, so I'm going to, obviously, this is spoilers, and who gives a shit at this point, but
well, yeah.
I didn't have high hopes for it. I know it wasn't highly rated, But when I saw the time frame, 2006, I liked the movies at that time, and I saw Tom Welling. I like Tom Welling. I do. I do. I loved him in Smallville. I think he's a good actor. Then I saw Selma Blair. Love Selma, especially her in a prime. She was back then. She was fucking phenomenal. And a couple other people, in the movie, like Maggie Grace was in it, and I've seen her in a couple things. I think she was in Fear the Walking Dead, and she looked like an emo singer in that. But I had mild hopes for it. You know what I mean? Like, and as soon as I watched it, now, of course, saying this, I just watched The Fog a couple times now, like last week, so it's fresh in my head. And when I started watching this, I went, "What the fuck is this?" Like, it's just because it's a remake, but you could tell that when they made this as a remake, like 5-year-olds, they just kind of picked random parts, like emblematic parts of the first movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're gonna put this here, but this is gonna be one big horrific disjointed storytelling that has nothing, that's not even remotely emblematic of how good the original Fog. The moment you watch it, like for anybody that's watching this that hasn't watched it, if you have the opportunity to watch it, watch it. And from the moment it starts, you'll see this old, like, sailor looking dude sitting there at a campfire telling a story. And the reason I bring that up is because it immediately gives you the subtext to what this movie's about. And John Carpenter just immediately, very simply and very artfully, lays out the story for you. As it plays out, he builds what's a beautiful thing called atmosphere. He sets the tone and he builds the atmosphere. So the movie sets the stage. In other words, like the beginning sets the stage, and then you have great actors like Tom Atkins and all these characters that roll out this story with you. You have Adrienne Barbeau, and obviously Selma Blair was the Adrienne Barbeau character in this rendition.
Okay.
Tom Welling, I presume, was supposed to be. This is just, I'm kind of piecing it together. I presume he was supposed to be Tom Atkins. Was not even remotely the same character as Tom Atkins, but it was. I'm presuming he was supposed to be that role.
He was the replacement.
And Maggie Grace, I guess, was supposed to be a loose adaptation of
JLC.
Yeah,
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah. But the way it played out was just horrific. Like it made no sense. Like you're watching it going, what is going on here? And then you had Selma Blair's kid, who I love the kid in the original one because he looked like a baby Jay Leno, like that same giant head. Like, oh yeah, there's some sauce in my isosceles. There's a fog out in the window. Like,
I thought,
can I go out there? So this kid was definitely not as funny as the Jay Leno kid, but Selma Blair, I would consider her a highlight in it. Tom Welling was pretty good for what he was, but his character didn't make. I didn't understand.
Didn't make sense. Yeah,
I didn't understand the translation as far as this version to that version. Again, the storytelling in this version was so completely different, and like the fog came in, and there was so much wrong with it. Like there was, dude. Even like at the end, you had great actor, by the way. I don't even know how to begin to say his name. I think it's like Radi something. He's the Boris, the bullet dodger, and you didn't see Snatch. Eyes Wide
I did.
Shut.
I just don't remember it. It was so long ago.
More notably, Eyes Wide Shut. He's the costume shop owner. I'll give you one more. You have to remember this one. Stop. Hammer time. You guys from America? I love America. Your trip? He's the fucking dude that drives them. He's a well-known actor. Great actor.
Okay, I'm looking at the IMDb right now, and I'm trying to find this guy that you're talking about.
I never knew how to pronounce his name. He's got a very long, challenging name to pronounce, but he's a phenomenal actor.
Serbeja?
Yeah, I if that's how you pronounce it, I'd have to look it up. I'd have to hear it, because I don't know how to pronounce it.
I see more pictures of him because he doesn't look that familiar to me. They don't really have much here,
but he's in it, and it saddens me that he's in it because it's like such a waste of because he's not in it. I guess he's supposed to be the equivalent of the pirate that was dead. In the original one, it's around the pirate.
Yeah, Captain Blake.
Yeah, and I guess he's supposed to be that. I guess it's, I don't know. The movie is a hot mess, and it incorporates way too much. Like, instead of just telling the story of the fog, they create this different story, and they roll it out in that early 2000s kind of Ring way where they're just uncovering the mystery, and then they had this stupid twist ending that was just so lame. I don't. I was just what a horrible, horrible fucking movie that was.
Well, dude, I mean, if you really look at, I mean, obviously nowadays everything is like a fucking remake, but especially during that time, they took a lot of movies, like, from like 2000 to 2010. They took a lot of movies and obviously they remade them. Because like that was around the time that the Nightmare on Elm Street remake came out. Friday the 13th, My Bloody Valentine, 13 Ghosts,
Yeah, but they
House of
really should have
Wax.
done it, dude. Like The Fog is a phenomenal movie.
Right, but when you look at some of those movies that they remade, they just take the story and just totally turn it into something that is totally different.
Okay, so I'll
You
meet you
know,
halfway with
I
that.
mean, look, I get like when you look at The Thing,
Right.
that was based loosely off of The Thing from Another World. Yeah, it's a different story. It's different, but it's the same. It's based off of some alien sort of life form that came to this planet and is possessing or taking over something else. But when you look at something like House of Wax, totally different story. The original story I thought was better.
Yeah. The old school one's good, but I actually enjoyed the that remake.
I did too. But
That's
again,
my problem. I'm not judging it immediately because it's a
yeah,
remake. I'm open to remake. I love remakes. I just think this was a shitty remake. Like it.
right.
So
Yeah, yeah.
when it
No, I
got
get
into,
it.
dude, you have DeRay Davis, who I like him. He's a funny dude. I don't know what his character like. They threw him into this movie, and I'm like, well, who's he supposed to be? And then like, there's like the whole point, dude. Like, none of the movie made sense, like from a structural standpoint. And it's like, and I'm looking at him going, and I wanted to like it. So like 15 minutes into the movie, I realized, okay, this is a horrible remake. So let me rewire my brain and just watch it and just pretend this is a movie called The Fog that has nothing to do with the original Fog, except for the fact that they're ripping off the idea of the Fog. If you follow what I'm saying.
Oh, absolutely. I
So
mean,
I
it's
started I started watching it in that scope, going, okay, forget about the remake. Let's just watch it as a movie. Let's just pretend this is a CW TV movie, and and I'm just watching it, and it's just ripping off the idea of the Fog. And even under that scope, the movie still blew. It's just a horrible distorted storytelling. It didn't make any
right.
sense, dude. Dude, Ray Davis is there, right? And then he's on the boat, and he's hanging out with like girls, whatever, and then like the fog rolls in, and no reason, there's no pretext to the fog. It just starts rolling in. So we have no setup to a story. It just starts happening, and then and then certain characters are following it, looking like Maggie Grace sees this symbol, and then Selma Blair. They do the whole thing where the son finds, I think it was like a brush or something, some kind of like it was all covered, in sea matter, like seaweed and like barnacles, what have you. In the original one, he found like that piece of wood, like that came up, and so it's like these symbols, and then they're trying to uncover this mystery, and so they kind of warped the whole premise of the story, where the priest finds the book, and he starts reading the excerpts of what happened, in the past. But it was just so poorly done, and like and I didn't even hate the cinematography. The acting was actually passable. Like there were aspects of it that weren't bad, but the story was just abysmal. And then DeRay Davis is in the boat, and he's literally Tom Welling. It's that scene where Atkins and Watson go on the boat. Like remember that they're looking because the boat disappears. It's the one boat they're trying to find.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
so you see scenes like there's certain scenes that going, okay, this is them actually trying to adhere to the original movie, but it's done in such a haphazard way. So when Tom Welling and Maggie Grace go on the boat, it's his friend's boat, like it's their boat, like it's his friend, and then they find him in the fucking freezer. He's like in the walk-in cooler or whatever because the boat had a cooler, and he's frozen, but he's still alive. So I don't know how that happens. So they wheel him out like like a stretcher, and then he starts talking about the fog, like, and I'm like, what is happening? Like I just, it's such a main, it was just like I feel like if we were like we were 10, we could have wrote a better movie, like a more
Yeah,
compelling
no,
movie.
definitely.
Like it's no, I know definitely. I'm being. I don't know, man. I
Dude,
wanted to like it, but it was just a really,
I
really.
mean, because well, that's the thing, man. It's always a gamble when you watch a remake. Because when you have a movie that's a classic and they want to remake that classic, it's not going to work out well. It's not going to work out as well as Dawn of the Dead worked out. It's not going to work out as well.
Dawn of the Dead is an outlier, man. It always will be, because I'd never seen a movie that good. I was like, wow, this fucking movie.
Even Night of the Living Dead was a great remake. It was, a lot of it was taken directly from the original movie, but still, you know, the way they changed the ending around, it wasn't far off. It wasn't a huge twist to where it's like.
But when did that movie come out, though? Night of the Living Dead, didn't that come out in the 90s? Or the 80s?
1990, yeah.
Okay, no, the reason I bring that up is because it's important because in the 90s, they still made quality movies.
Right.
It wasn't until the 2000s where all this became the thing to do remakes, so they just started churning them like...
I mean, who knows? Maybe yeah, who
and
knows?
And what's name was making that, and that was a great... I love that Night of the Living Dead.
Tom Savini, yeah.
Savini was fucking great.
Yeah, but in that era, in that time during the 2000s is when it became, like you said, became the thing to do, because it was the thing to do to take a classic movie and remake it. Some of them were good. Like, I thought the Friday the 13th remake was good.
I enjoyed the Friday the 13th remake.
Yeah, it was really good. And I thought Derek Mears played a great Jason. Different build than what
really fun flick, used to. I love that movie.
Fantastic movie as far as remakes go. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh.
Different, you know, the story was different from a bit different from the original, but it was
visceral,
good.
Man. Dude.
Yeah, it was a good flick. My Bloody Valentine, it was good up until the end, because in the original you got one twist ending, so they're like, hey, you know what? Let's make a different twist ending, but the twist ending for the remake sucked.
Yeah, titty twist.
It sucked. Right, because in the original, you find out that one dude who was with them the whole time is the killer. And in the remake, you find the one dude who came back to town was the killer, but he didn't know it because he had fucking, you know, psychological issues, you know? It's like, okay, I guess Nightmare on Elm Street remake, fucking sucked.
Yeah.
It fucking sucked.
Dude, I was telling you,
and I'm not
you didn't watch it for a while. So
dude, I saw for the first time.
I kept telling you, and I'm like, dude, it is horrible.
Dude, I saw it for the first time in its entirety, I think like 2 years ago, or was it either last year or the year before?
It's fairly recently.
I have to do it. Well, actually, yeah, it was last year because I was working on another podcast and we were doing an episode on remakes. So I actually sat down and watched it so I could talk about it. And I was like, oh my God, why am I doing this to myself? You know? Dude, I even saw the Crow remake to talk about it on that show. And again, fucking terrible. But, you know, you had like 13 Ghosts. People love that movie. It wasn't terrible.
I think it was a fun movie.
Dude, it was a fun movie, but like it was also, for me, it was a little too much because it felt like it was early 2000s. They were just starting to incorporate CGI more into movies, and it showed. Like, they used the fuck out of CGI in that movie. Now, from what I understand, they're working on a 13 Ghosts, I think, TV show or
I told you about that.
Streaming show. Yeah.
And I was excited. I'm like, this should be cool, man.
Well, dude, I'm hoping that they take the characters from that movie and give us some origin stories, because that's the whole point.
I think you want to delve into the history of
I want to know how the hell that dude got 1,000 railroad spikes knocked into his body. As for all the ghosts in that movie, he's the only one that I really want to know about.
I want to know because, about all of them. They all fucking seem cool, man.
Dude,
the Golem dude, no,
dude, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's just, how do you get that many spikes into a dude? You know, like,
well, it's like, how many licks do you get to this Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Roll Pop?
Right, but obviously it's
the
like,
world may never know.
Well, because you can't get that many fucking spikes into a person without him dying while you're doing it. So it's like, wouldn't whatever the hell is in him be what happened at the time of death, not after he died? Like, that goes beyond torture, you know?
Yeah, but also too, I mean, that does the same aspect in where you really have to just acknowledge the suspended disbelief, because I mean, you really can't fit 1,000 spikes in a person to begin with. So it's,
I know.
You know, it's just hyperbolic, story.
Yeah,
origins.
I know when you, all right, look, when you watch a remake, you're going to compare it to the original. That's always what's going to happen. People are like, well, if you're going to watch this movie, you can't really compare it to the original. Yes, the fuck I can. Because if you like the original, you're going to compare it to the original, because you're taking the core story of the original movie and you're using it to make another movie. And a lot of times a completely different movie with a completely different storyline, which is what 13 Ghosts did, what House of Wax did, what Silent Night, Deadly Night did. You take the core idea and you fucking either shit on it or you do it justice. And lately, it's all just been shit.
Yeah, man, dude. I have to just comment again on Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Dude, nothing against Jack. Was it Jackie Earl Haley? I think that's his name.
Yeah, something like he's a
good actor, man. But he was the worst choice for fucking Freddy Krueger, man.
Well, dude, I mean, you could
You
tell
can't
that
pick a 4'5" dude to be Freddy Krueger. It just doesn't work, man.
Right, but you could tell, like, it looked like some of the facial stuff was CGI.
Oh, yeah, but it's terrible too. Like, yeah,
it was terrible.
This is the fine line that you have to delineate when it comes to CGI and practical. The practical makeup is what really makes a lot of that stuff. You know, like Robert Englund obviously made that character. It's safe to say that if anybody played that, it would have been cemented with as many episodes. I mean, as many movies and renditions as it has. And Robert Englund really added his personality to it, which is, you know, what we've talked about numerous times when it comes to horror, because we love horror and we appreciate those that make those characters that great and memorable. Man, it was just like, you know, once you start delving too much in CGI, you lose the essence of what makes things horror, or what makes the horror aspect great. And that was one of those ones where it got lost in translation immensely. That movie was such a huge swing and a miss, and I was like, oof, it's hard to get the stench out of that. Like, it's like if they do another one, which they probably will do another remake at some point. Same thing with Hellraiser. I love the Hellraiser movies, and trust me when I say they're my favorite series of movies. But it's more of the world, because a lot of the movies leave a lot to be desired, and a lot to be desired. And the remake they made, which was like 10 plus years ago at this point, was one of the worst atrocities put to film I've ever seen in my life. And
Are you talking about the Hulu one?
No. I'm talking about, no, I actually like the Hulu one.
Oh, okay.
I enjoyed it. Do I love it? No. Did I like it? Yes. Did I think it was immensely better than that Revelation one? Oh my God, yes. Dude,
that was the one that was the first one without Doug Bradley, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It was like the what, $5,000 budget remake that I guess they were, I don't know, was it like a I dare you to make this? And and then they had that cartoon looking motherfucker that came out with the bulbous head.
Yeah,
and
dude,
that was the worst Pinhead I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, he looks like what a spoof Pinhead would look like in the movie Scary Movie.
And if that's Revelations, then I guess we're hitting the end of the world, because that was one of the worst fucking movies. Dude, it was so horrible in every capacity. Like, there wasn't, like, at least with The Fog, I could say, well, the actor was pretty good, you know, and cinematography was, like, there were aspects I liked about it. My complaint is the story as a whole. Like, it was a horrible script, horrible story, terrible. Had good actors in it, and they were good. Like it. Selma Blair was great, loved her in it. Tom Welling was good. Reddy, whatever his name was, you know, for what little he was in it, I felt like it was like a wasting of a casting for him, because I think he's a phenomenal actor. Love him. But this movie was just absolute an atrocity. Like, it was the worst fucking film I think I've ever, like, wasted the money. Like, I remember at Walmart in Florida, and it was like $7. I'm like, oh, how bad could this be? It's Hellraiser. I love Hellraiser. It's my favorite series. Yeah. And then I went, oh my God, what did I just do? I think I opened the box. This is my hell. Like, I opened the puzzle box, and I'm actually experiencing the hell. And then when Pinhead walked out in the scene, like towards the end of the movie, I went, you're not serious, right? This is the Pinhead? This is the dude you got to play Pinhead?
Yeah.
Now, I will say this. They did that revision, which I kept singing its praises to you, The Judgment. I loved The Judgment. I thought the guy that played the Pinhead in it, and the revision of it, like, in other words, like, their take on it, I thought was such a breath of fresh air. And it had a lot of promise, and I was so looking forward to the sequel to that until Hulu bought it, and then they came out with the Hulu I forget what the subtitle is. But I will say,
a fan of that one.
I liked it.
I still need to.
Didn't hate it. Didn't love it. It was better than Revelation.
All right.
But not as good as Judgment. I think Judgment was fucking great. I think Judgment, they should have had the chance to at least make the one sequel for that. Judgment was great. That's probably one of the better ones in like the last 10 Hellraiser movies. Because they've been shitty offerings. They really have. Like, I liked 5 and 6. I've told you about them. You know, Craig Schaefer was number 5. He's the
He was the
Nightbreed, you
detective.
know, like
Yeah,
Nightbreed.
yeah. He was the detective.
Dean Winters. He's
Oh,
number
okay,
6.
okay.
He's the mayhem
Gotcha.
guy. Stay away from mayhem. Great actor. I love both those actors, and those 2 movies were really cool movies for what they were. They went more into the psychological thriller aspect. I dug them. They were good. But man, Fog was just, I don't know what they were thinking when they made that. Like, I feel bad for the actors. I'm like, because, like, you know, like, they did an admirable job, but it's just,
Yeah.
you know, like, you
I
can't
mean,
carry a bad script and you can't carry a bad story. Like, you know, a director sat there and went, cut, okay, this is how we're going to make this, is how the movie's going to play out. So, shame on you, whoever directed that and whoever wrote that.
but see, you know what it is too. On top of making, shitty remakes and all that stuff, a lot of older movies, like movies from the '90s, are coming out with sequels now. Because like they just decided after how many years to pick up on the Scream franchise.
Dude, and I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm like, bring it on. I'm all for it. Like, let's see it, you know? Because like what we were talking about back in the day, like or talking about earlier from back in the day, like I always loved listening to new music. And even to this day, I'm still the same way. Looking at new bands, you know, new artists, and I love new stuff. So I'm all for like new remakes, new versions, new sequels.
Right.
Bring them on.
See, I think it was either earlier this year or last year when they did another they did another I Know What You Did Last Summer. I don't know
Yeah.
if you ever saw any
I
of those
didn't
movies.
I mean, I love the first one.
Yeah, the first one was good. I mean, you remember the song that the whole movie opened with? Sweet days of summer. Dude, I'm in the theater. I'm like, oh shit. Like no one knew what
Dude,
the fuck it was. I'm the only
because
one
that
sitting there
was like when that came out, that's when soundtracks were still a thing.
yeah,
Like
absolutely.
where they actually cared about putting like cool bands on the soundtrack and stuff like that.
Yeah, and the thing is, like at the time, it was like, only a select few people knew who Type of Negative was, and the fact that they put that in there is just like, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Set the tone, man.
Absolutely.
All
Totally
about
set the
setting
tone for that
tone.
movie. Yeah. I mean, oh man, like when you go back to the '90s, if you want to talk about soundtracks,
Dude, we can get lost in that, man. Like
we could do a whole episode on just that, to be honest.
Which we probably will at one point.
Oh yeah, I mean, and it all starts with The Crow.
It definitely that is a starting point. Yeah.
I mean, dude,
I'd have to
'cause,
chronicle,
like,
have to chronicle all of them, but like, yeah, Crow was definitely one of the big ones at that time.
The Crow. I mean, Judgment Night was another fucking phenomenal soundtrack, dude.
Well, dude, even like you had wacky offerings too. Like the Mortal Kombat soundtrack was great. I think the Mortal Kombat is the one that had the Blood and Fire. Like that is a special mix for that album.
Yes,
I love that particular because it's a slight difference. It's the end where he belts out fire, and the way it ends, I loved Blood and Fire.
I think that version is on one of the. I think it might be on this version on.
It might be now, yeah, but it wasn't on the original. Like
no, it wasn't. I know what you're talking about because the record I got from Record Store.
From Out of the Ashes remix, I think it's called something like that.
I believe so. Yeah,
I think
it's on. You know what?
Do you remember that they had because when you had the album, right? You had Bloody Kisses, and then you had the special one, which had Suspended in Dusk. It had the Out of the Ashes remix, I think, and it had one other. Like I think the track listing was a slightly altered, and then you had a couple of tracks, and that was on there. But it was hard to get that album back in the day. But if you're grabbing it now, then you could probably peruse the track listing.
Okay, so all right, this has the bonus tracks right here. Some Suspended in Dusk, right. Black Sabbath from the Satanic Perspective.
Yeah.
Summer Breeze, Rick Rubin mix. Christian Woman edit. Christian Woman Butt Kiss and Sellout version. Black Number One edit. Blood and Fire, Out of the Ashes mix.
Out of the Ashes, yes. That's the one that was originally, like, once again, it was on the you had to buy the special like that, and I couldn't find it at the time in stores.
The Record Store Day version
of
Bloody Kisses.
But for the years, I only had the regular Bloody Kisses. That was
me too. I mean, dude, I was so excited when I found out that this was going to be released on vinyl.
Yeah,
and then it had like all this extra shit on it. But the problem was, it was the only one that they had. I was the only person who wanted it, but the cover itself was like damaged.
That sucks.
It's like I don't know if you could. Yeah, it's like it's dented here. It was ripped here, and it has tape on it. So like they put the tape, and it's not the store's fault. It's the manufacturer. that there was tape on it under the shrink wrap. So they knew it was fucked up. They're like, someone's gonna buy it anyway. So
that is a fucking the temerity to fucking do that, knowing full well like you're immediately putting out damaged goods.
Right, but I mean,
well, think about it. It's really because like collectibles, LPs and stuff are a lot of people buy them for the value, and it's immediately diminished in value when somebody fucking put tape before it even goes to the store. It's like, yeah, this is the only one we had here. Who cares? I care.
Well, dude, for me, obviously, I'm a collector. You know what I mean? I listen to the record.
Well, you're not there to sell it, but it still sucks to have that.
I don't purchase stuff to sell it. I like to have my shit in good condition, obviously. Especially,
don't we all? Man?
This is a triple disc, and it so it was fairly expensive, and I just like to have it in good condition. But I was just glad to get it. I wasn't going to like drive out to another record store that day and try to find a better copy of it. I was like, I'm just glad to have it, and that's not to mention that I have like 2 or 3 other versions of this record. Yeah. So, one's a double disc, one is like the one that came with the box set. So, but I mean the box set was cool, man. But the only thing is, the only thing about the box set is it doesn't have Dead Again in it. It ends at Life Is Killing Me.
Yeah, that is weird. Though it's like, why would you omit that?
Yeah, I didn't get it. Like when I opened it up and I'm looking at the records, I'm like, wait, isn't one missing? I'm like, wait, where the fuck is
not a complete box set if it's missing an actual whole album?
Right, and the crazy thing was, I was like, okay, now I need to get fucking Dead Again on vinyl, and I'm looking it up on like Discogs, eBay. Crazy thing was, when that first came out on vinyl, it was in red. Like the cover was red, the records were red. I'm like, oh my God, I want that.
Yeah,
it was expensive because it was rare. At this point, it's rare. But not too long after, they did do a re-release all in green. So I was like, okay, at least I can get that one.
Dude, great last album too, man, for them.
Yeah, dude, it had a very Beatlesque.
It did, yeah. From what I do know about the Beatles, yeah, it did have that vibe to it.
Yeah, exactly. But it was good. It was like good Beatles, It's like it's the way Typo Negative would do the Beatles,
Phenomenal album, man. We never talked about, not that I have much to say about it because I never really listened to too much of it, but Carnivore, he did start with Carnivore at the beginning.
Oh, yeah. Dude, another record that was re-released, another album that was
re-released. But what little I've heard of Carnivore, it is fun. It's more of like that, just let's not take anything seriously and just make noise. Yeah. You gotta love it,
Don't mistake lack of talent for genius.
Dude, I mean, because, I love Pete Steele. We both do, but like, we've talked about this before in prior episodes, but for those watching now, we as young teens, we had what we called jokingly our demigods. Like mine was Pete Steele, and yours was Glenn Danzig.
Oh,
yeah. And we like these were our heroes, And so it saddened me, like that my hero passed away so long ago already.
Yeah, I never thought that I would be taller than my hero.
I love Glenn. I'm not even shitting on him, but
I love Glenn. Dude, I mean, listen, the guy's 70.
I know. He's up there, but he's getting like girthier and girthier.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I saw him with the Misfits like almost 10 years ago. Like 7-8 years ago.
Was it that long ago when he
Yeah, dude, it was 2017, and I think 2018. I don't think it was both in the same year. I think 2017 was in Jersey. 2018 was in at MSG, or it could have been 2018, 2019, whichever it was. They were a year apart. And dude, a 60-something year old guy doing that shit that he did on the stage, he's got the gut now, whatever. It's like when you used to look at Glenn Danzig, this dude was fit. Like this dude was scary looking.
He was like Wolverine, because he was like 5'1", maybe, and
I think it's 5'3", maybe 5'4".
Like Tom Cruise height. So he, but he was jacked. He had like the mutton chops, and he was just, he looked like a cartoon character, or more appropriate, like a comic book character. He was great. I love Glenn. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Glenn as well, but like back then, man, he looked like, like the image in which he propagandized with all his albums, with the demon skull on his. And he's come out there, it's coming down, and it was great, man. Like,
I mean, well, dude, again, another band that you introduced me to.
Yeah,
And
love Danzig,
another band that you told me he was the lead singer for was the Misfits, which
yeah.
made me want to go out and buy the albums.
And Misfits, dude. We
And
both like, dude, huge fans of
dude,
the
I mean,
Misfits, man.
dude, crazy thing is, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned this before. I just have a bad fucking memory. But first time I ever got to see Glenn Danzig live on stage was with the Misfits
Misfits, yeah.
reunion.
That must have been.
And
I wish I would have gone to that.
and it's kind of, it's kind of fitting. But I do wish that I would have seen Danzig live back in the day during his prime, because I know people who went to see him, went to see Danzig, but weren't actual Danzig fans.
Yeah,
Because like they got invited from actual Danzig fans. So it's like, oh yeah, I went to see Danzig, last week or whatever. It's like, wait, are you fucking kidding me? You went to see Danzig? Like you didn't tell me? Like you didn't invite me? That type of shit. And it's like, oh well, like so, we were just hanging out, and someone's like, hey, I got an extra ticket for Danzig. You want to come? So it's like, yeah, sure, why not? I'm like, oh man, like it's like, I wonder what they played off of like Danzig too. Like, did they do like Her Black Wings, or they played Mother? But what else? I don't know. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like, it's like you should have called me and told me to take that fucking ticket. I would have paid anything for that shit, man.
Dude, I think about how many shows I missed. Like we've been to a lot of shows. I've gone to a lot of shows, but I've also not gone to a lot of shows because So for me, especially back in the day, even now, I still have like a lot of social anxiety. Like the thought of having to go to a concert and just physically go in there and be stuffed with a bunch of people. It's a massive deterrent, and I've missed a lot of like shows because of that. And it's like I've gone to many because you'll get a bunch of friends like, let's go, and I'm like, okay, let's go. But like I would never like on my own just go. Let me go. I can't tell you how many times I wanted to go see whoever. I mean, take your pick. I've
I mean,
Deftones I would have seen like a million times. I've seen them a handful. I would have seen Typo way more. I would have seen Danzig way more.
Well, dude, I mean, certain concerts, wherever your seat is, you might stand like from your seat. Like if you're like ground level, like when I saw Guns N' Roses, we were on the ground level. Everybody was out of their seats. So I'm like, okay, no big deal. But at least I have a seat that I could walk back to and sit down if I need to. When I went to see when I went to see Iron Maiden with Ghost, my buddy got us the general admission, and we're just like kind of looking at each other like, why did we do this?
Yeah.
Because at the time we were like close to 40. It's like, dude, we're 40. Why are we doing this shit? It's like we don't belong here. But when it came to the Misfits, and I have friends who are, into punk and shit, that when I was like, yeah, no, I got seats. Why would you pay for seats to see the Misfits? Because I don't want to fucking be like down there. Like, it's like, dude, we've been through it.
We've been through it too. But the one thing is, just to add to that point, I've never, even when we were like 20, I hated being thrust into. I've never been a fan of that. I hated being, like we've done it, like because we got to the front, but I despise. I have like massive social anxiety about that. Like I hate being wedged and stuffed in rooms with a massive amount of sweaty people.
Right.
And it's a reason why I've missed a lot of shows, because like, I don't want to go through that.
Well, dude, see, one of the things that I deal with is like, if I could get in there early and get up to the barricade, I'm good. And it's not just because I want to be front row.
Yeah, but you're still battling high tide. It's because, like, you still have to hold that spot when you're there, and is constant elbows.
But that's exactly it. Because if I have to stand on my own, I'm going to end up on the floor. Yeah. When the waves of people start moving and shit, and you have to move with them, and it's like you got to hold your balance and shit. I can't do that shit,
dude. I told you
the best way for me to hold the balance is holding onto that. Fucking
you have
barricade.
to, dude. Back when I was 15, I think it was my birthday. My uncle took me to Slayer. And when Slayer started, I think I know I've told you, like, dude, Biohazard played first, right? Love Biohazard. And where I was in the middle of the pack. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't in the front of the stage, wasn't by the mosh pit. And, I was sitting there watching it. And when Slayer started, as soon as they started, they opened up with Rain of Blood. So the lights are coming out like this. And as soon as it started, I literally, the entire, I can't, for those watching.
I know what you're going to say, because I went to a Slayer show.
From front to back, side to side, dick to butt, all pressed together and all moved like one body of like ocean of bodies. And I got literally, I lifted up, I was not touching the ground, and within 5 seconds I got processed out the crowd and shoved into towards where like the shirts were, like the store, I literally, nobody touched me. That's the thing. Nobody grabbed me. I was literally pressed into humanity, and I immediately went, and I got shoved. It was like a typewriter where you go, ding, and you shove the whole thing aside. I got pressed and shoved out within 5 seconds. And I was, okay, I'm just going to stay here now.
Dude.
I've never seen anything like that. Slayer
dude,
is another breed, man. Like, it's another, yeah.
See, I thought you were going to say something along the lines of what I experienced at my first Slayer show. Very similar, though.
Yeah, it is similar.
Because in the way that you don't know how the fuck you got to the t-shirt booth is the way I don't know how the fuck I ended up on the edge of a pit.
Yeah.
Because as soon as that fucking first chord hit, the whole fucking place was a pit.
Yeah.
And I was at the edge of it.
I'm like, I can't stress you. It's the entire place. Like, everywhere you look, you see people, they're fucking going crazy. Like, it's the weird, I've never seen a phenomenon like that.
But that's exactly it, though. It was like nobody was moving. Some kind of force fell into the middle of this fucking venue and pushed everybody out, because there is no way that I would ever be a person who is standing on the edge of the inside of a fucking pit. I don't do pits. I never did pits. It was never my thing. I'm not a mosh pit person.
Me neither.
Like,
never did.
You go in the mosh pit? No. Why not? Because I want to watch the band. I want
to watch the show.
I don't want to get knocked in the fucking face. It's bad enough that being at a Slayer show, you run the risk of getting knocked the fuck out wherever the fuck you are.
Dude,
so
I was saved, I think. But nobody touched me. Dude, like, I literally, when it started, I lifted up I was lifted up. I was not touching the ground. And within seconds, I just staying vertical. Like, I didn't turn sideways. I wasn't being pushed by anybody. I just got like pushed out like a sponge in water. Like, like I went sideways. I went laterally. I went shoom, and it just got shoved out like Ace Ventura. Like when you get shoved out of the fucking
that, yes.
I flew. Like, I went from the crowd. Like, it was the crowd and then empty floor, and I was like, I got just shoved. I got thrown out, and I landed on my feet, and I was like, holy shit, that was weird.
Dude, I was just about to say, like Ace Ventura.
It was just like that. It was
great.
Less violent.
Because that's exactly how I'm picturing it.
Just as volatile, but less violent. Like, I wasn't shoved. It just got pushed out. Like, it was, dude, I've never seen physics work that way before.
Yeah, man. Exactly, dude. Because again, I would never put myself in a position to be anywhere near a fucking pit.
Yeah.
I'm either at the front where the pit's behind me, or I'm in the
back.
Or
in the back, Either way, but you're outside of the zone. Yeah.
Exactly. It was like a ball of energy just fucking, like an invisible ball of energy just fell into the middle of the venue, pushed everybody out. Nobody moved.
Yeah.
Something moved everybody.
Yeah.
And again, I was on the edge of it. I'm like, no, thank you.
Dude, it reminds me of Jim Brewer has a great bit about Slayer, and he's 100% accurate with it.
100%
For those watching, if you're a Brewer fan,
100%.
we could 100% attest to that bit's real. Like, it is like Lord of the Rings. Like, they're not normal people. Like, I remember before Slayer started, before the show even, like, before they even, like, it was like, this was like in the middle, it was after Biohazard. There was this big dude there that was like all muscle and no shirt, and he just kept going, violence. And I'm 15, dude. I'm like 5'2".
Yeah.
I'm not a tall person. And I remember going, all right, I'm staying away from that dude. I want nothing to do with that fucking, that dude was like part orc. He was just like,
yeah.
And I just never, there's something there. I've never seen that type of reaction to any other band that I've been to tons of shows, but Slayer is one of a kind.
Yeah, dude, going to metal shows, especially like a Slayer show, it's like a fight club.
Yeah.
It's like you could talk
like
about
a Middle Earth fight club.
Yeah.
You're fighting like mages and orcs and trolls.
Yeah, but dude, I would never do pits. It was just never my thing. Not just because I didn't want to get hit, not because and it's also because like I don't want to hit anybody. Like I don't want to be standing there.
The same thing. I don't want to hit. I want to watch the band.
Yeah,
it's the same reason. Like now, everyone watches. Like they go to shows and they're filming it and they're looking at their phone, filming it. And I'm like, you're not watching. Like you're watching the band, but you're watching.
Right, yeah.
You're watching third person when you're actually there. Like, watch the show. Just watch it.
Well, yeah, that's why. I mean, like if I'm recording anything at a concert, that's why sometimes it's better to be in a seat.
Yeah,
is because I can hold it here
and still watch, right? Yeah,
and still watch. That's exactly how I do it.
A lot of people when they're in the crowd, they're looking up and they're looking at the at the phone, and it's like,
right.
I get it. If you're short, maybe people you can't. But it's like, I don't know, man. It's.
Well, because it's in the same respect where if you go to like a really big concert where they have the giant screens that show you what's
you could watch a screen. Yeah,
I get it. If you're like far
away though, yeah, it makes sense.
And I mean, at the same time, it's like I just spent $250 to watch a giant TV.
Yeah.
But if you're close enough, it's like when I'm close enough, I like to try and focus on the band. The fact that the band is really right there in front of me.
There's nothing like
it's like if I'm watching the screen. Yeah, exactly. So if I'm sitting down and I'm recording a little bit, I always make sure to either, I'll usually have it under me because if I'm going like this, I don't want to block anybody else's view, which nowadays it's like you can't even stand up at your seat because people fucking lose their shit now. It's totally different. I mean, again, the last time I was at a concert was like 2019.
Yeah.
So up until but at that point is where it's like it was already changed where, you can't stand up out of your seat. Whereas not even 10 years earlier, I'm at concerts at MSG, nobody's sitting down.
Yeah.
Everybody's having a good time, standing up, dancing, singing, whatever it was, nobody was sitting down. It was like an unwritten rule. Like everybody stands up, everybody enjoys themselves, but it's going to concerts has become something completely different. And if I do decide to ever go to a concert again, it's going to be in a seat.
Yeah.
And it's like I would hate to be the person to be like, "Hey, excuse me, can you sit down? I'm trying to watch the band."
So let me.
And it's like I can't make them.
Yeah.
I would just ask, but
so with that said,
I'd probably just stand up with them.
Just out of curiosity, because I'm thinking this now as you're saying that. When at some point I'll go to another show. What band would you want to see? Like like breaking that cycle now. Like
I knew
who would you want to see?
That.
I'm thinking right now. I'm like, who would I want to see right now? If Faith No More, I see the problem is with Mike Patton now. Like Faith No More would never get. Like I think they're done.
Right. Yeah.
Because of his issues. His agoraphobia, whatever that he's been doing.
Dude, I would definitely do Misfits again.
I mean, I would 100. If Misfits ever got back to get with Glenn, I would love to see that.
Yeah, I would definitely do Misfits with Glenn again. I would definitely go see Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats again because, like I said, the first time I saw them, I got really drunk and I don't remember much about it. I remember what I do remember about it was great. I just think I think they're a fucking great band. But at least I know if I go to a Misfits show, I can get a seat. Yeah. Whereas Uncle Acid does more of the general admission shows, and they haven't really done they don't really come and tour in the U.S. as often as I would like. But maybe they do. It's just I haven't really been looking up concerts for a long time because I just lost interest in it.
Yeah. Well, my favorite band, Black Lab, I would go see them again.
That's cool. Yeah,
yeah. Played they just did that Kickstarter now, so who knows? We'll see what happens. If that personal show, if if that same people do it again, and he ends up doing a little show around here,
that'd be cool.
I'd be down for that. I would love. I mean, there's still a handful of my favorite bands that are actually still together.
Yeah.
Like if Deftones ever rolled around, I would love to see them again.
That's cool.
Yeah. NPE, if they were rolled around again. Sponge.
Yeah, I mean,
love Sponge. One of my
dude. They played around here. They played around.
They played
remember? Yeah. But I mean, dude, I've seen Metallica twice. I don't need to see them again. Love them.
Still love them too. I mean, I saw the S&M back in the day in MSG, and
I remember you telling me about that. I remember you telling me dude, you will not believe what I did last night. I'm like, what? I went to see S&M Metallica. Somebody, right? Somebody came up to you, dude, I got an extra ticket. You want to go? And you're like, yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
MSG. Well, dude, and it's but the funny thing is though, nowadays it's just do we have to get on the train?
Yeah.
Do we have to do this? Do we have to? It's nowadays, oh man, I don't know. I got work in the morning, and it's but it's Metallica and a symphony. It's yeah, no, I get it. It's just I don't know, man.
So true. It's yeah, but still, I mean, it's what is it? Is it April? I mean,
yeah,
are we really doing this now?
Because because of the weather right now, it's I don't know if I got to bring a hoodie with me or not. It's and I don't want to be carrying. I don't want to be carrying the hoodie or the whole night.
There's no place to store it. So then I got to wait for a train. Then I have to check the phone for the times. It's too much trouble.
And if the escalator's not working, how am I going to get upstairs? Oh man, but dude, the concerts that we did go to, we had a great time at. We had great times at. And it's it's one of the sad things is a lot of the New York venues that aren't around anymore. Roseland Ballroom. Roseland Ballroom's gone.
Roseland's gone. Huge fan. I love the Limelight. That's like a yoga studio now. It's it's like a store. But dude, I saw a Kitty there. I loved Limelight. Limelight was awesome.
Yeah. But I mean, dude, even like the smaller clubs, like CBGB's gone.
Yeah, I
One of the
know, dude.
most one of the most
CBGB's. I thought
historical.
that would be there forever, man.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, at this
Landmark, man.
point, yeah, dude. At this point, it's over 20 years that it's been
It's been
gone.
I know
It's
it's
about
been
20
like
years.
most
Yeah.
people don't even know of it now at this point.
Right, exactly. And you know, I think even like Crash Mansion's gone. I don't know if you ever played there or remember
No,
that place
I,
or not,
not by name. That doesn't sound
but
familiar.
yeah, I mean, like, just it's just like a lot of the good like Don Hills. Don Hills. I mean, it's not like a big venue. I mean, it's big in, you know, for like local bands.
Yeah,
You know, like like as far as like it being more well known, and it's got like a decent like floor when you're playing for like a good decent amount of people. I loved playing there too, man. Like Don Hills was one of the. It was like one of those like in the middle of nowhere, New York City type of places. But like once you get in there and you set up, like the sound was fucking great. The venue was fucking awesome. You know, they had fucking what John Waters movie is it where Divine is sucking a dude's dick? I'm trying to remember because that was playing on the TV when we walked in. I'm like, oh, look at
interesting.
that. Yeah.
That's
But yeah,
interesting.
dude, played with Red Cloud Revival there, man,
Yeah,
and it was fucking awesome, dude. And they were fucking fantastic. And you know, this was already after the name change from Donnybrook, but dude, they were fucking cool as hell, man. And like Don Hills was great, Crash Mansion was great. I think even Highline is gone, and that was like that. It's just like, dude, like where have all the fucking venues gone?
trying
It's
to think what other
sad.
places. Irving Plaza. I believe Irving Plaza is still around, right?
Irving Plaza's still around, yeah.
I remember Roseland, dude. That's where like that was like
That was like the
Soundgarden. That
place,
was like
yeah.
dude, we went to like half the shows I went to were like Roseland back in the day.
Yeah,
It's
dude. I
weird to see
mean,
that place, knowing
because
that place has been gone
right,
forever
because
too.
Roseland, you know, Roseland was like Hammerstein. You know, it had that
Hammerstein
like
Ballroom,
same
yeah,
Hammerstein was a little bigger because it had like more balcony seating and shit.
yeah,
But I mean, Hammerstein's still there. They just call it something different. I forget what they call
yeah. It
it
is
now.
something
But
different. I saw Manson there, and that was a great show.
oh, that's cool. That's
Yeah,
cool. I saw. That's where I went to. Like that was one of like the last shows I went to. It was Black Dahlia Murder with Meshuggah.
mm,
You know, I mean, dude, Black Dahlia Murder was fucking awesome. But like they were, you know, basically they were like an opening band, so they had a shorter set.
yeah.
But it was great. They were fucking awesome. I was right in the front.
Hey, you
Fucking
love that band? That's it.
oh yeah, dude. And it's like, you know, that's another band where, you know, the lead singer died and another band stepped up, another band member stepped up to be the
Right?
singer.
Yeah,
And it's like just seeing that happen. And dude, they could be fantastic, but like seeing that happen with another band, it turns me off.
yeah,
You know, because I know what happened with the
yeah.
band, you know? So it's like, you know, it's like when I see this guy, you know, when you watch like videos and stuff, like some of their live stuff, you know, you see him doing the backup vocals and stuff, and it's like now he's the front guy, and I'm like, I'm not buying it, man. I'm sorry. You know,
It's
Trevor
weird with
was the
certain things.
fucking man. Yeah. Trevor was awesome. He was funny on stage. You know, he'd be like doing like fucking death metal screams and like prancing around the stage and shit. It's like, dude, the guy was the man. Like, and it just sucks that he's gone too, you know? So, and Meshuggah, you know, I left like halfway through their set. I wasn't like
I'm
impressed. Like, I like the music. Don't get me wrong. I like the music, but I wasn't
not a fan,
impressed
dude.
with.
There's just a run-on sentence. Everything sounds the
Yeah, yeah,
same.
no,
It's just
dude, exactly, and I totally get that. But sometimes I'm in the mood for that. Sometimes I just need
that's cool.
something that's
No, no.
just
I mean,
yeah, yeah.
I get it.
And dude, like the artwork on their fucking albums is fucking cool too.
It is
So
cool. They're just very demonic. Like everything I see, I'm like,
dude, I know, dude. I haven't
I-
listened to any of the stuff that I bought from them in a long time.
yeah,
But like I said, there's that sometimes it just need fucking crunching guitars that goes nowhere.
yeah.
So,
Oh, and that's you have that right there. Like
yeah.
just an
So
endless sentence of riff. Like just
I mean, dude, yeah. So and it's just so like I said, I left halfway through their set. I'm like, okay, I pretty much. It's like you're there for half. Actually, I think I might have left like earlier than half a set because it's like you like you said you heard 3 songs, you've heard them all.
well, like, with
So
them, it's like the equivalent of like watching a GIF over and over again.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Because like it
And
really
dude, the
is.
fact
It's just the same. It's just nothing
dude
but the same.
the fact that they don't actually perform is a real turn off for me. See, like I don't know if you've ever seen what they look like
I
performing.
have. I've seen the singer do
They're
that stupid.
yeah, but aside from that, like the rest of the band doesn't move.
I know. Well, because they're too
You
busy
know?
like this.
Right. No, but I mean, like, but the thing is, though, it's like they're trying to create the illusion that they are moving. Because right before it, you know, my buddy was there. I met up with him, and he's like, dude, have you ever seen Meshuggah? I'm like, no. He's like, oh, dude, it's awesome. You know, they barely move, but the lights do all the work. And I'm like, okay, well, let me
flashing
see what you're
lights
talking
give
about.
that impression, yeah.
Right. So you got the guitarist. He's got long hair and he's got his head down, and he's literally just like this, like what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
That's all he does.
Comatose.
The lights do not make up for any of that.
Yeah.
The bass player's doing this shit. The lights do not make up for any of that shit. You're not fooling anybody. I do not see you moving. Part of seeing a live show is not just to hear what you have on a record.
Well, if you're alive,
to see the band perform.
Like if Rolling Stone could do it when they're 100, you can do it too.
Exactly. If fucking Glenn Danzig could do it at 70, you know, after eating fucking backstage
dude,
cake,
and he's literally a summer sausage with a t-shirt on now. Like it's
right. Yeah.
And he could still fucking do it.
Exactly, man. All right, so we could bring this to a close now.
Yeah.
It's been fun. You know,
just
again,
another, memoriam, so to speak, for another great artist that is gone far too soon.
Another great singer.
Yeah.
Another great bass player. Another great frontman.
Yeah.
Another hero. Yeah. There you go. Just sending out love to one of our favorite frontmen from one of our favorite bands.
Also, too, if anybody watching, if you're not familiar with who we're talking about, check them out.
Definitely check it out.
Check out Typo. Trust me, you will not regret it. You'll thank us later.
Yeah. So, I mean, listen, it's hard to tell anybody what album to start with. I normally would say Bloody Kisses because that was like their biggest album.
Start with
that was the one that put them on the map.
Spread the cheeks. Start with Origin of the Feces. It's not their first album, but it's
right.
It's the second technically, but got to start with the origin.
That being said, I am Giuseppe,
and I am Storm.
Peace out. Game over. Dude, for real, thank you so much for joining us. And now that this episode has come to a close, if you really like what you heard, please like, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your enemies. Maybe they'll hate us as much as you hate them. Point is this, we really appreciate you stopping by and hope you come back for future episodes. Thank you so much. Peace!